one and you know I'ma get it. I'm not even close to the finish, just scratching the surface, turning my L's into
in the surface, turning my L's into winnings. I've been the one since the beginning. No days off. I go so hard in the pain. Put in that work in this pain. I'm quick. I left no crumbs. You know I ate. I'm pushing the limit. Like get out the way. I am the one. We're not one in the same. Feeling brand new when you're not in my lane. Count me back as I'm breaking the chain. I woke up the pieces.
Mooi vind ik dat je de weg niet meer hoort, dat er geen andere mensen zijn, dat je helemaal in het bos bent. En daar ligt dan opeens een supermooi blok. En er zit niks extra, er zit niks in de weg, er zit geen scherp greepje in. Ja, soms denk je wel eens van ja, dit kan toch bijna niet anders dan dat dit gemaakt is om te klimmen. Dit is echt perfect. Hè, alsof een hele goede routebouwer voor ons cadeautjes heeft neergelegd om te ontdekken. In die afleggebieden vind ik het heerlijk om in mijn eentje te klimmen, alles zelf uit te zoeken, de geluiden van het bos om me heen. Een werkdag is echt, dan loop ik met mijn mapje door het bos en dan heb ik dingen uit te zoeken. Bijvoorbeeld nieuwe boulders die geopend zijn, intekenen. Er zijn vaak geen filmpjes van die boulders nog. Helemaal geen informatie. Nou, dat vind ik een hele mooie manier van klimmen.
I think that's great for everyone, but most importantly, the youngsters. Ondracomp is a very specific shoe, but especially if you're a lightweight climber, I think it's actually a very universal, all-rounded shoe. If I could turn back the time and I was 12 years old again, I would use it for almost everything.
Welcome to the 2025 Dock Masters Bouldering Competition. We are here in Utrecht in the Netherlands at the beautiful Boulder Hall, Energiehaven. The semifinals are on the wall just over there. In about 2 minutes, we're going to let this crowd into the room. We are going to get underway with our semifinals. We have 20 male and 20 female athletes who qualified this morning on a tough round, and we're going to put them on 4 finals boulders. We're going to have our normal semifinals format. We're going to have 5 minutes of climbing and 5 minutes of rest. So you know, if you watch a lot of climbing, you watch a lot of semifinals, that fatigue becomes a factor along the way. You gotta manage your attempts, you gotta manage your energy if you wanna get that cut. We're getting from 20 down to 6 for the finals tomorrow. So we got 40 athletes warming up, waiting up in isolation, and you know what? Because it's the Dock Masters, we get to go talk to them. This is rare. We don't normally get to be in isolation. Normally in a sanctioned comp, in this kind of event, they don't want to be disturbed. We want to give them time to warm up. We're still going to give them time to warm up, of course, but we are also going to get a few little interviews here along the way, a couple of favorites maybe, a couple of local strong climbers ready to put it into the mix. This gym, as you can probably see behind me now, wonderful, wonderful facility here, one of 7 gyms in the Netherlands owned by the Boulder Hall Group. We're heading into isolation now. This is a really, really good isolation spot. We got a couple of board climbs for them to warm up on. We got a campus board for them to warm up on. Physio's just over here in case people have a little tweak, something they want to work on. So now we are in the sacred space. We are in the place where we don't normally get to be. Everyone is trying to find their focus. Some people are a little bit relaxed. Some people are a little bit nervous. This is how competitions go. However, we're hoping that some of them take the time to chat with us and get a little bit of an insight into the mind of a competition climber right before the start of the semi-finals round. Let's see who we've got and see if we can get a couple people on here to answer some questions for us. Do you want to do a quick interview with us? No? Okay. We can't disturb everybody, so we need to be a little bit careful. I see, though, a couple people I know. Let me get Mika over here. I'll be right back. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, good.
Good. I'm here with Mika Mauem, a perennial World Cup climber, and you're here at the Dock Masters. How are you feeling overall? You said you were a little bit injured, but you're here and you're climbing.
Yeah, a little bit injured. I don't climb since 2 months. I was start climbing just last week. Just when I come here, all the year I come in Dock Master for only one thing. It's the ambience. Look at that, it's crazy, and before the qualification at the best.
Absolutely, and it's not a World Cup comp, so the pressure is a little bit different. Obviously, there's money to be won, but the environment, really, it's a fun place. The music's loud, the spotlights are on. Are you, like, people at home always wonder, are you nervous in isolation? Are you calm in isolation? Do you want to get psyched up, or are you trying to relax yourself?
For me, it's finished, no stress, only pleasure. Okay, now it's important to have some small moment. Now, for me, IFSC camp, high level camp is finished, only master, and when you come in master, for me, it's only for share a big moment in climbing, because it's that, and maybe some climber use this camp for preparation. Me, it's only for pleasure, no stress.
And it's cool because there's some young climbers and some strong locals who get to hang out in isolation with legends like yourself. So have people been chatting with you? Have you been just sort of mixing it up?
Yes, a lot. I take time with a lot of climber and take time for give a little bit my experience and share whatever, invite in my gym. Okay, come if you want to train before the camp, come in my gym, it's for free. We train together, I can give you what I have, and just that, it's very important to share.
Amazing. I mean, you're one of my favorite climbers to watch climbing, so I'm always excited to see what you're going to do on the boulders. Semi-final boulders could be really tough, could be a little bit of a mix. We know it's a hard round. We've got to separate from 20 down to 6. I'm very confident I'm going to put some money down even, that I'm going to see you in finals tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out with us, and good luck.
Thank you.
Ciao. Thanks. Let's see who else we can grab. Slava, do you want to come do a quick interview? Slava, how are you feeling?
Hi, I'm pretty excited as always, on every competition, yeah.
This is like your third Dock Masters now?
Yeah, that's the third competition for Dock Masters for me, yeah.
Last year you made the final. You climbed really well in the final in some very short pink shorts. Are we going to see the pink shorts again this year?
Hopefully in the final we can see them, yeah. I always have them in my backpack, but I decided not to put them up that early. So if I make the finals, we'll definitely see them.
So it's only for finals, like Tiger Woods wears red on Sunday and Slava only wears pink in the finals.
Yes, exactly. They brings the luck in the finals, yeah.
What do you do to get ready in isolation? Do you do easy boulders, hard boulders? Do you listen to music? How do you get prepared to go out for a semi-final round?
Okay, now I'm not doing a lot of hard boulders because we have a qualification round earlier this day, so I'm pretty warmed already. So I'm just doing quick warm-up and some medium-level boulders without any difficult ones. Yeah.
You don't want to hurt yourself when you're warming up in isolation, but you just want to be ready to go out and see. What do you hope to see on your first boulder? Do you like to climb a slab early? Do you like to climb a power boulder? What's your ideal come out of isolation first boulder?
I have no idea, but I can definitely say that I miss powerful boulders, which are for climb, not jumps, not slabs. So hopefully the first one and a couple more will be less jumpy, less tricky, let's say.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to watch you climb. Good luck, and I hope I get to see you in the finals.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Thanks. Do you want to do an interview? Just get your jersey on. Official one. Introduce yourself to the people at home.
Wow, now?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm Arthur. I'm from France and I'm 19 years old.
Is this your first Dock Masters, or have you been here before?
Masters. I've been to Studio Black Master once, but never done an international comp before.
How does it feel getting into this kind of mix, this level of climbers in isolation? Are you watching people do hard things? Do you get like intimidated watching people climb, or does it just make you excited to pull hard?
No, pretty excited. Like, I can't wait to go climbing out there. I still have a pretty long time to go, but I'm really excited to be with all of these cool people.
How did you find the qualifiers this morning? Interesting format with only 5 attempts on every boulder. Were the boulders like in your style? Did you feel relaxed, or were there someone that stressed you out?
No, actually I was pretty relaxed because in France we have kind of the same format, so it was kind of just like at home. So it was really nice, and it was pretty my style, a lot of slab boulders. Maybe that's why I got high up in the ranking, but I hope that I'm not going to drop down. So.
I mean, the goal is to get into the final, so you just got to go and do some work and get yourself into a final. I don't want to jinx anything, of course, I never do. Are you feeling confident? You're climbing well today?
Yeah, sure, of course, yeah, I'm pretty confident. Like, I don't know how it will go out, but in finals, like, I think that I'll climb confidently in the semifinals.
And that's important. Climbing confidently, you have to climb well, but you also have to climb confidently. You have to believe that you're capable of topping every single boulder. Well, I believe. I'm excited to watch you climb, and good luck.
Thank you, bro.
We'll do this one. We got a couple more minutes. Let's see if we can grab anybody else. I mean, as you can see, they're all like pretty busy warming up. That's the most important thing. You have a bit of time. You know where you are on the start list, so you know how much time you have before you come out. So if you're climbing a little bit later, so that means you qualified better. You're taking the 20th comes out first, and the first place qualifier comes out last. So you're going to have maybe still another hour to warm up. So some of them are still chilling out, and some of them are definitely warming up. Do we want to find one more? Let's see if we can find one more. All right. Did you want to do an interview, or no? Did you want to do an interview? No. We can't convince everybody. We can convince some, but we'll try over here too. Did you want to come do an interview? Yeah, come on. Introduce yourself to the people on the live stream.
My name is Selma, and I am 20 years old, and I am from France.
And have you been to the Dock Masters before?
No, it's the first time for me to be here.
And have you done any other competitions recently this year, or is this your first sort of major competition of the season?
I did like Les Grips. It was a comp in France, and I also compete in TBA. It's like a comp with another girl, and we climbed together in the boulders, so it was really nice.
Oh, that's cool, like a different kind of format.
Yes, really.
And how do you like competitions like this that are a little bit more relaxed? It's a different environment, it's a little bit more chill as compared to maybe like a national level comp or like a sanctioned event. Does it feel different when you're at the event?
Yes, for the moment I didn't feel like I'm in a comp. I just enjoy climbing, and yes, I'm really happy to be here.
Out of the qualifiers this morning, did you have a boulder that was your favorite? I know the slab was very, very difficult. Did you have a boulder that was your favorite, that was in your style, that you were happy to see when you were walking around and looking?
I think I enjoy the boulder in general. Also the slab, the physical boulders also. But no, I think I didn't have like a favorite boulder. I will see if in semifinals I will have one.
Yeah, you might. I mean, it's good to have lots of styles that you're comfortable with. Do you have a favorite style? Are you like prefer steep climbing? Do you prefer coordination or slab, calm movement?
Me, I think I prefer physical boulder. Yes, I really enjoy when I can do a physical boulder, but also coordination boulder is really nice when you can do the move, and yes.
And it feels good when you can piece it together in that 5-minute time frame. A question for the people who are watching at home who don't normally get to see this kind of stuff. When you're in the chair resting between boulders, what are you thinking about?
I think it's the first time that I will wait just behind the boulder, so it's really different from the other comp. I think I will just think about the next boulders and try to try out the next boulder, and I will see.
Because what's difficult for people that compete, they know this. For people who don't compete, they're not so sure. 5 minutes, you have to recover the pump, but also if you didn't do the boulder, you have to like not think about it. You can't dwell in the past. The past has to stay in the past. But it's difficult, even in any round, to not think about the boulders behind, but only think about the boulders in front.
Yes, I think it's difficult, but we have absolutely to don't think about the previous boulder, to do a good comb, because sometimes like one boulder is enough to go to the next round. So if the last boulder is for us, we just have to wait until the last one. We did the last one and it's enough for the next one. So we have to stay focused, yes.
That's such a really good perspective, is that you don't know which boulder is going to be in your style, and you don't know. If the boulders are difficult, maybe you only need 2 tops, and you don't know if it's the next 2 boulders, and you don't know what the other people are going to send. So you have to have that confidence. Slava said that too. You just have to believe that you can do the boulders. And every time you turn around and see a new boulder, the first thought is, I can do this boulder.
Yes, exactly. Like it depends on how the wood setters like choose which boulders will be the first, the second, or the third. And yes, if the 2 last boulders are for you, you just have to wait and to have the boulder in your steel. And now it's okay, yes. And sometimes one boulder is enough for the next round. So yes, it depends on the difficulty of the round.
You have to have patience, and you have to believe in yourself, and you have to just be ready to pull hard on every single boulder. You do know the shape of the wall, so once you know where your boulders start, you kind of know the order of the steepness. So you're like, oh, if you start on the left side, you know that in the middle it's a steep boulder, and you go to the right. So at least you have an idea that you know you're going to get to climb on different angles across the round. And you just need to hang in there and recover. And I think that the semifinal round for me is one of the most exciting, because you have that effect of you stay on the mat, you have that 5 minutes, and you have to work your way through them. Do you prefer a finals or a semifinals in terms of the way it's laid out?
Me, I think I prefer finals, because when I am in finals, I just have to climb. And when I am in semis, I want to join the finals, so it's more stressful. But I think I enjoy the both rounds. Yes, because the boulders are hard, so we have to try hard to do the boulders. And when you top a boulder, you are really happy. So it's so nice to feel this when you top a boulder in semi-final, also in final, yes.
Yeah, you get to take the emotion, you get to take the high of doing that boulder and carry it through the next round. Well, thanks for talking with me. Bonne chance, and we'll see you out on the mat.
Merci beaucoup. À bientôt.
All right, everybody, we're pretty much going to wrap it up here. Semifinals is just about maybe less than 10 minutes away. Right now, we're going to go up to the booth. My co-host, Danaan Markey, is sitting down with a couple of the route setters, and we're going to get a little bit of insight into what is up on the wall and what you're going to see in about 10 minutes.
Hello and welcome to the Dockmasters commentary booth. We are situated up above the climbing wall. It's actually behind us now. We can hear the crowd getting ready. The bustling is building up as it's getting closer to the start of the competition. So I am now joined by 2 fantastic route setters who are out there on the mats building the boulders for the last, how many days? 5 days. They've been hard at work. And how many boulders altogether have you been a part of testing and setting?
Join the rest of the team for the qualification.
I heard up to 60 boulders.
Yeah, maybe not 60 for us. It was like it's like 16 semifinals and finals, and then we did the 16 qualies. So it's 32 boulders.
32 boulders.
Yeah, but we didn't like actually set like all of them, but yeah, we were involved with the process.
Quite a lot of work the last days. But before we get too much into it, I'll actually introduce you guys. So we have here Anna Borella and Gregor Vezonik, 2 very, very accomplished route setters. And well, Anna, starting with you, you actually have done a few World Cups in the past.
Yes.
And have more coming up.
Yes, I did Salt Lake last year and Brixen the year before. And this year I'm supposed to go to Brazil and China.
Wow, very exciting. And you're preparing for it? You're getting training? It's going to be...
Yeah, the aim is to arrive in shape at the end of March, because the first comp is in April and then the next one is in May. So
very exciting. So I think we'll be seeing more of you in the World Cup circuit over the years, hopefully. And then
I hope so.
The other person, a story that I believe is quite well known amongst the climbing community now, Mr. Vezonik here. You have retired very recently. Please tell me more.
Yeah, so I retired a couple of months ago at the end of the World Cup season. Yeah, I retired and quickly switched side to the dark side.
The dark side. Were you thinking about it in your later months? Like, this is what I could do with the holds?
I don't know, it was really natural for me. Like, I've been setting since I was a kid, basically. So I always knew I kind of wanted to do this. Also, I've been involved with the holds business for, like, in the industry. I've been in the industry for the past, 8 years, or even more. So for me, it was, a logical next step. And I got lucky enough to get the opportunity so quickly.
Yeah. And you do have your own holds brand, I believe, that has sponsored the event, so you're involved in more ways than one. What do you guys think generally? It's all the rage nowadays talking about holds. What do you think of the selection of holds you've had for the competition?
I think that we had a lot of stuff for setting, because there are a lot of sponsors, so many different brands. And it was also, for me, it was nice because I discovered some shape that I never used. So I think that we had a lot of really nice stuff to work.
That's fantastic, and hopefully we'll get to see some footage of the boulders that have been set on the screen shortly, and we can dive a little bit into the rounds. What did you guys think of the qualification round? Did it go as expected?
Yeah, I think it was like a bit on the easier side, except for one boulder. So we separated the field to get the 20 athletes, and it was good, I think.
Okay, and now we've got the semi-finals up on screen. You can see that is the first block of the female semis. How would you describe the style of that block?
It's about body positioning and balance at the top part. And this is boulder number 2. It's more about finger strength to release the toe hook in the beginning, then a little jump. And then you have to really find the sequence to match the hold before the top, and even for finding the position to match the top.
Difficult match, heartbreaker potentially.
Yeah, frustrating, a little bit frustrating. This is the powerful one, not super hard until the zone, and then you have to really commit to pull this crimp to do the second part of the boulder. So it will be interesting to see the athletes fighting after the zone. You can see that it's not that good.
Not a big crimp. I've seen bigger crimps in my life.
Yeah, and it's a bit out of balance when you go to the...
And a bit of a swing?
No, but you just lose your balance and you have to turn the hand a little bit to stop it. And this is the strangest boulder ever. You just start facing public and then struggle pushing the volume and do a strange traverse.
We're going to see a lot of struggle, you're saying?
Yeah, because you can see the face of the athlete, so it will be
see the
super
pain.
fun to watch. We had a lot of fun while we were setting it.
Did you have fun climbing it?
Yeah.
Really? Okay, right. Well, there'll be big smiles on everyone's faces then, as they clearly enjoy the double press into the roof and traverse sideways. And then the last move in that boulder looks pretty exciting as well.
Yeah, and then after the first really slow part, because you have to find the body position, you explode.
Very cool, very cool. And now the men's, we can have a quick close-up, and Vezi's going to tell us, this is your boulder, isn't it?
I mean, I did put it on the wall at first, yeah. So not sure if it counts as my boulder. But this is it's like a technical climb. Control technique from Font. Yeah. So yeah, body positioning and just squeezing. Number 2 is like pure power boulder. Fiberglass, big moves. Just it'll show who the strong guys
like a
are.
Wrestling match.
Yeah. There is a sneaky knee bar if you can find. It's easier. But yeah, I think we'll see the strong guys top it. And this is kind of a small coordination, like a small box coordination, and nothing too crazy, but the holds aren't the best. So yeah, not long. The moves aren't too long, but the holds are bad. So
that'll be precise.
Yeah, precision, all about precision. And then the last one is kind of a slab, but we don't actually have like a classic balancey slab. We were joking that this is like that this is an anti-slab.
Oh yeah,
because it is a slab, and then the second part is just like wrestling with your rat kind of like the
Or wrestling.
Yeah, kind of like partage in font.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. So
Brilliant.
we got two copies of the font boulders, or not copies, imitations. Yeah.
That is brilliant. Well, thank you very much. I hope you all enjoyed that quick, very deep insight from the actual setters themselves on the boulders that we have coming up. And very soon we'll actually get some athletes out on those boulders. So yeah, you guys, you have to be on the mats ready if something goes wrong, a technical happens. So I'll let you go. And thank you so much, and see you again tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have fun.
And here you can see on your screen, we've got the starting order of the semi-finals. Selma, who was just interviewed by Pete there, down in first place. That means she qualified in first. She had the highest score and therefore will actually come out in last position. We save the best for last in these events. And sitting now beside me is the man himself, Pete Woods. He's back in the studio after interviewing that exciting moment with athletes behind the scenes.
Back in the booth, it's fun to be down in isolation. They don't all want to chat. They tell you, when I was in there earlier, I'm like, we're going to do isolation interviews. They're like, oh, great. And then you come with the camera and they just all turn their backs.
Really?
It's like, you know what, I'm not interested. I don't want to be part of this conversation. All of us, it's very real all of a sudden.
Wow.
That's some good insight. Miko Mao, I'm obviously a big personality, super fun to talk to.
Fantastic man. Current reigning world champion, is he not?
Yeah, and he said he's basically not doing big cups anymore. So he was excited just to come and do this kind of atmosphere. He was talking about how wonderful, basically the vibe is here and how enjoyable it is to come to comps like this. And you know that he's got the talent to pull down at this level. So lots of climbers to be excited to see. Some big names on the start list, as you saw. And then because you're going to have strong locals. So there's room for people to get into a final. We had a couple of dark horses through last year. I'm sure every year there's a couple of very strong people, not necessarily World Cup climbers, but people who are very good at rock climbing are going to make their way into a final. And, you know, they got 4 boulders to do it on.
Well, we're hopefully going to see, and we actually have the whole Irish team is present. They've used it as their nomination comp.
Have they really?
Yeah, there's a few Irish lads out on the floor tonight, so it'll be very exciting to watch that.
You have to remember that there's no favorites in the booth. You can have quiet favorites, but you cannot choose only to talk up the people on the Irish team.
Completely unbiased. Yeah. In fact, it's probably a negative if I'm watching an Irish person climb.
So maybe you'll just sit. I remember doing comps with Megan Martin, and she's so close with so many of the American female athletes that she would just start to get nervous. One time she was like I had bruises on my arm from the nervousness. So as long as you don't over squeeze when you're watching climbers on the wall, then I'll be okay. Just don't injure me in your excitement of watching your hometown athletes climbing. 5 on, 5 off. Some people think it's a brutal format. 5 on, 5 off is it's hard to recover, especially after a power boulder. 5 minutes seems like a long time when you're waiting for your tea to boil, but it's not very long when you're in a chair and you've just climbed 4.5 minutes of a powerful boulder. So fitness management, managing that pump, super important in a round like this.
I think we're going to see some of the athletes kind of stand out. That is really something that defines a really mature against an amateur athlete, is their time management, their stress management, how many can really reset and have another really good go. So we can keep an eye out and hopefully see some names pop out and do it well.
Yeah, temp management, emotion management, fatigue management, all those things. We're just about ready to get going. I think we're going to head down to the floor. We're going to give it to the MCs to get this crowd kicked off, and then we're going to start some bouldering. And we saw the boulders. You saw the boulders just now. You are absolutely in for a treat.
Yes, we are about to start with the semifinals of Dock Masters 2025. Are you ready?
Are you ready? Yes. So how are the vocal cords? When I say Dock, you say master, Dock. Master. Dock. Master. When I say Dock, you say master.
Dock.
Master. Dock. Yeah.
Welcome, everyone. Great to be here. So, in 2 minutes, I think we will start with the semis.
We'll start with the semis. We'll look at 40 athletes. They'll do these 4 lovely boulders. We have a 5-minute frame per boulder. That's 5-minute max. So if the buzzer sounds, we're done. You get to see a lot?
For 1 round.
And I'm curious, what sound would you make when someone just doesn't reach the top? Just doesn't. We say,
And what if they reach the top? What do we hear?
All right. How is it there all the way in the back? Do you see every boulder well? Yeah? No worries, even if you're there, the wall will slowly fill up. So we'll start there, and as we progress through the night, slowly everyone gets to see everyone.
40 climbers tonight. They go from right to left. So a lot of action, and we will be here to guide you through all these actions.
We'll have a see if we're ready. Okay, you're gonna count with us. Let's count down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are underway here at the 2025 Dock Masters, the semi-final round. We're getting started off with Nina Schroeder and Luc Sparharen. And they're going to be our first look at boulders number 1. They go from right to left across the wall. So they're starting closest to isolation and then moving slowly along through the steepest part of the wall and then finishing, as Greg said, on the anti-slab for the men on the far left side. So it's hard to come out first. You got to be, you know that you just got into semifinals, so you know that the boulders are really, they're set to separate the top 10 or 15. Occasionally you have some super dark horses who are like 19th or 20th who should be making their way to a final, but it can be hard to come out, and you're basically warming the crowd up, but occasionally you get climbers coming out and they're like, oh my goodness, these boulders are so hard. So you have to give them respect for being here. You got to give them respect for coming out. They're going to put it all out there, and it doesn't matter how many tops you get when you're coming out and working hard in the semifinal round.
Not at all. I think everyone here, the atmosphere really is, everyone's super psyched to be here. And maybe we'll see some exciting moves. I know Anna was saying this one is more on the doable side, but well, we are seeing it. Yeah. 360 already, more on the doable side at least. That was their predictions, but route setters are always ready to be surprised. So I think with the nature of this feature, there's going to be so many different options that you can take to passage through that corner. And so maybe the more advanced climbers, they'll have their beta set pretty tight. They're going to know what they're going to do.
And you got to solve it quickly. So remember that this is all on-side climbing. They've never seen this boulder until they turn around and look at it for the first time. So in those 5 minutes, you've got to solve the sequence of the boulder in your head, and then you've got to climb the boulder. And you can get it wrong, and you can get it wrong for 5 minutes. Yes. And it doesn't matter how hard you try, you're just not unlocking the sequence. Sometimes you can break a boulder, sometimes you can do things that are a little bit like out of the ordinary and still be successful. Some boulders are even set with multiple options, but generally you've got to get it locked in. And it can be hard, especially on a boulder that's confusing or complex, to get the right sequence and get it early.
Yeah, you can see on the right Nina in that corner so many different ways. She's trying something different every time she goes in, and that's just her way of trying to figure it out right now. Question is, can she get through here with the time allowed? She's found that foot, but you can see the left side of her body still really relying on that palm that's way behind her. Now reaching back over her head.
And you know that the route setters are clever. The route setting has gotten so creative in the last 5 to 8 years that you look at a boulder and go, oh, it might be a weird horizontal press, and then I have to reach my own toes. So you can't discount that they've created an awkward position for you to climb in and out of. So sometimes you're like, well, maybe this is the awkward boulder, and you just settle into that decision.
Maybe this is the way it has to be done. And Nina going for a more dynamic method there, but didn't seem to have a foot to grab her. Now on the left, Luke here, He's not a small person.
No.
He's got two very close holds. That was a very small box that he's going through. But haven't
tapped the zone, but was really stretched out.
Yeah. So the intended beta, you can see he's going for, and that I've been told is to left hand on the zone, right hand on the arete, and going to compression there. But it's very thin, very slopey, not easy to stick whatsoever.
That corner, I mean, it's so hard to see angles on the screen at home. Interestingly here, some of the angle changes are different color, so you get a bit of an idea. But that arete, it's flat, Dan. It's flat. Like, you're not pinching that arete. You're just sort of like palming and praying.
Yeah, there's maybe 30 degrees, 40 degrees max. That is not a sharp right angle.
Oh, and look with a good attempt there. 30 seconds left now. So this is we talked about attempt management, and the first two climbers are going to take it down to the wire. You still, if you're not getting burnt out, you're not falling off the last move, you're definitely going to try the boulder, 6-8 times in that time frame, because zones are valuable, right?
Yeah.
Tops are often very expensive. Sometimes the zones is a good way to get yourself some progression. So look, just kind of getting almost, and Nina going to take it down to the buzzer, and just unable to solve the corner. And first one down. That's going to bring us Urska Lepusic and Bojan Hirov. Will be our next climbers, and Nina and Luke are going to get a rest. And think about the space where you have to think about what you did, not for very long, and then think about what you have coming up. It can be very difficult to shed disappointment in a bouldering round, but the most well-rounded competitors have that ability to just go, wow, that sucked. Let's see what the next boulder is.
Yeah, super important. And even at the top level, we're seeing more and more that national federations and teams are investing in psychology coaches for sports psychology coaches for the team, because that is such a big factor in competition. It could have been a really tough boulder and nobody got anywhere on it, but you don't know. And so dealing with that intense emotional space of trying to understand, did you do well enough or not? Really difficult. And even at the top level, I think we're still quite in the infancy of the work that's going to be done around that.
Absolutely. Sports psychology in climbing, as you say, has only really come out in the last couple of years. And every sport introduces sports psychology, because failure is a part of winning, and you have to be able to learn and grow. And in a bouldering round, you have to fail and learn and grow in 5 minutes. So we really do compress the stress level when you come out for any round in a climbing competition, and you have to, there we go, Bojan getting the timing just right,
grabbing that arete very low there. It looked like that's what made the difference.
Yeah, wasn't reaching too far. The timing was better. And just a little slip. The footholds are not particularly good.
Tiny edges. You have to be precise. It would be very easy to miss. You're in so close to the wall that it's quite hard to lean back and actually see where the edge is. Even few millimeters you lean back, you're going to lose that directionality on the holds. So got to be precise, get the feet right, and then these slopers are really not good.
No, and even those two footholds, you're going to wish they were a little bit more downward pressure, and they're on like almost a 40-degree angle. And as you try to rock over them, they get worse and worse and worse and worse.
Worse and worse and worse.
I mean, I'm going to say it probably a dozen times tonight and the same tomorrow. Route setting and its ability to force movement and create stress and create separation at athletes of this level it's the cornerstone of any climbing competition. And a foothold angled even sort of 20 degrees the other way can be the difference between a boulder that's quite difficult and a boulder that gets done with relative ease. Boy, and here, crazy control of the body tension. Really working hard to keep that hip against the wall.
Struggling to figure out just the hand sequence there. Is he crossing up and then popping the left hand through? You could tell he wasn't quite certain himself. He's just seeing how far he can lean on that.
It was like, this feels terrible, but maybe it'll feel good.
Maybe that's the right way.
Maybe that's the right way. As I move across, maybe I'm going to get it to work out for me.
It's a little experiment on the fly.
Yep.
And I think he came down obviously quite tired and realized he still has 2 minutes left, so he's got to get himself up there again soon.
Take a bit of a brushing break. Force yourself to stop and look at the boulder and take a breath. Urska also just trying to work out the best body position to get across this open book. You know, and it's not that you're jumping to that volume. You know, it's angled the wrong way, so you do have to be in control when you get there.
Very much in control. And this was, as you mentioned, the cornerstone of a competition is the route setting. And the route setters will slightly change. Let's take a look to see if Bojan's going to get through before I talk more about route setting.
He's got a slightly different grip, I think, on that bottom. He's almost got a bit of a cup reaching back for compression. Red. This is good stuff. That red is getting further and further away.
His right foot is just about on. Can he find the left, or what's he going to go for? He's up here, probably.
Having to unwind to get that left foot on. It's a forced barn door, really. That's what it looks like.
It looked like he didn't quite get his right foot on quite as well as he would have liked, and therefore quite locked in, didn't have the room to move and get that left foot up. But then, yeah, you're going to essentially go for an almost dynamic move and kill a barn door. So
easy. just like that.
No problem.
Just like that, yeah.
There's a lot to get right, and you're already pretty tired.
He's going to take an extra 10 seconds to rest. And Urska, this is, I mean, it'll be fatiguing a little bit. Oh, it looks like just sort of solving it at the very, very end. Right. So we expect to see this at a comp where we have a handful of World Cup level climbers and a lot of local strong climbers. Is that the sort of first 6, 8, 10 climbers maybe are going to have a really hard time. The boulders aren't really designed for them, so they're going to be fighting for zones for the most part. You will see some people outclimb their position, of course you will, and I think one of them is going to be Slava. So Slava made the final last year, and you know, maybe didn't have the greatest qualifying round, but we know he's got the capability to pull hard on these kinds of holds. And then we have Maelys May.
You can see Slava's really stopped to take a good look. So did he talk much about what his preferred style and technique is? This is a very technical and complex boulder to figure out. What was he saying?
He likes to grab holds. He likes to climb. So he likes to rock climb more than he likes sort of coordination or like weird, you know, bip bap bop 3 like.
Bang, bang.
There we go. All just happened as we were looking just to the left. Maelys May unlocking the sequence on boulder number 1. Good stuff. The crowd lets her know it. So over on 2, we have Nina and Luc who are back. And Luc in the steepest part of the wall.
This boulder, men's number 3, looks pretty damn tough. You've got a quite intense roofy section, keeping your feet on, trying to come through. You can see in the replay, and then throwing out to that next hold. Really difficult swing to hold.
The perch from Maelys just on that zone hold, like a very tiny foothold, and just finding the balance point. Took her a minute to get to it. I was going to say, it might look like the frame is stopped, but she was very still. And then this is when we got surprised, I think, when she just sort of got this right. That one-legged press. Do your pistol squats, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. I love it. The celebrate before match. It can go wrong for you, but she looked like she was pretty comfortable in that position.
Very confident. Great to see it top there.
So Slava giving it a bit of a second look. Try that opening move a couple of times. Just shorted it.
Theoretically, this is a more basic boulder in terms of modern styles. It's not a coordination, and it's not a strange 360 slab, but it is very, very complex, very, very fine body positions required to hold on to those holds. So let's see if that is Slava's thing or not.
Luke getting onto that, hanging on. I was going to say, campusing through there, difficult stuff. Yeah, complexity, very nice, comes in different forms. So you can have something that's complex to read, and then you can have just a body position that's really, really hard to lock in and get right. So the climbing, look at this toe hook to get position. So he gets up high on this first side pull, and he's trying to find a bump. Interesting.
That was very interesting. Keeping right hand to the arete and trying to rock those hips as far left as possible to make that arete a good hold and just bump up in compression. Not the intended method, but he might be able to get it to work.
And he fought a little knee scum that I'm not sure is helping in any way, but if it feels good and it's not doing you wrong, then why not throw it in there?
Why not throw it in there? There's an ongoing debate about use of knees in climbing, and I'm here with the popcorn.
So yeah, I mean, this little toe hook, just to kind of reestablish good hip mobility for sure. Thinks about a heel, doesn't like that, as you shouldn't, it's terrible. And then this little scum.
We saw a good attempt there from Nina as well, throwing up to the zone on that purple climb in between the two athletes.
A replay cut almost perfectly with where he is now. Gets established on the match, not quite.
Arms up in the air.
What am I supposed to do? Nina with the clock running out. Will she be able to get through to this zone?
Just didn't quite have the energy to explode up and right. It is a very difficult position you're on. 2 bad crimps and your foot is way up and right of your center of gravity, not where you want it to be, so quite difficult to jump up over it.
Yeah, a lot of work to get your hips going in the right direction and not a lot of push. We got Bibi Hammers now and Paul Brandt.
Paul Brandt, a known local hero. I've been told the Brandt brothers are out against the world.
Yep. And he's done well here many times before, and excited to be out. It's always fun to climb at home, as it were. Urska and Boyan on boulder number 2.
Urska, a relatively successful athlete, has been on the Slovenian team on the later end of her career, or currently not on the Slovenian team. Didn't seem to figure out the first slab, but maybe this climb is a bit more her style.
Paul with a low hand. I mean, on an arete like that, Dan, it's hard to decide to move it. Like if you get it and it's established and you feel the friction and you think, if I move this, I'm enough.
I don't want to go in.
Yeah, but very low. And I think he's one of the taller climbers, but that is going to be very, very stretched out. So Bibi just fighting to get the foot. I always find, Dan, I find footholds around corners to be especially devious because you can't bend your ankle enough to get the kind of purchase that you wish you could get. And to me, it's a little bit, I mean, I love it. It's clever route setting, but I don't like it when I'm trying to rock climb on it.
Oh, can be very, very terrifying. And to your point before about the route setting being the cornerstone of the comp, they do analyze the boulders. They analyze how people did in qualifications and then tweak the finals or semis or finals a little bit in response to that. And this slab on the right, you can see that bottom foothold, the mint bottom right foothold, 2 feet below the zone. The one that Bibi has just skipped out.
Yeah, just not using, but it makes it work. Oh, my fault.
Oh,
it's my fault.
Jinxed it.
Jinxed it. She got into the splits, and then just, it's a shock load when you kind of shift your weight that dramatically around a corner.
Yeah, let's see. It's going to be, it looks like she's going to have to match her feet in order to get that right foot up high. Whether or not she's capable of doing that is going to be the question, but she did make some progress in that beta, so I wouldn't be surprised if she tries to get there again. But as I was just saying, the route setters, that bottom right mint foothold just angled it out about 3 millimeters. They were like, yeah.
Yep, that's about right, yeah.
This is it. So the minute changes that the setters make to the holes just minutes before the comp is absolutely fascinating.
And knowing what's going to make the difference between making something slightly easier or slightly harder, how it affects position, and whether or not you can just bump a few extra people off by making that position just slightly more uncomfortable or harder to generate or harder to stay, connected through the bottom of your feet through the friction. There's some, as we walk through, there's some awful footholds. Like, there always are, but occasionally you get, all right, that I could dig my toe into that, or I could stand on this. There are some absolutely terrible footholds, and this one is it's not about how big it is. It's just look at the angle, and to get your foot on, your hips are coming out. Like, she's going to think about going inside out, and then look. That expression tells you everything you need to know about women's boulder number 1.
That was an experimental go, and something absolutely wild going from Paul there on men's number 1.
And he's buoying, just swinging. You see now that's a couple of climbers trying to establish the zone on those slopers. That's going to be tricky.
Slight lull between Urshka now setting up to go for that zone. We haven't seen anyone make it yet. 1 minute left. One hand, it is a good hold, but you've got so much rightwards momentum that you need to get up, over, and both hands on it while kicking that foot out if you want to stick the move.
And you're getting tired as that, that number of attempts climbs in the time frame. You have to force yourself to take that rest on the mat. It's so hard to watch the clock. You see Boyan here just finding this awkward position to trying to keep his feet on as long as possible, because that's what your instincts tell you to do when you can't campus. And he's tried that a couple times. 25 seconds now. When the clock is over, the round is over. There is no extra climbing in the semifinal round. It doesn't matter if you have one hand on the finish hold when the zeros arrive. That is not going to be a top. So, my goodness, Bibi making the corner again.
She's up past, she's on that right foot.
And she's going to run out of time. I mean, Dan, there's a couple things that are really frustrating in a round. Dropping a top is one, and solving the beta as the clock runs out on your last attempt of that boulder, that's one of maybe the most frustrating things you can do.
Absolutely. Left. Here we are, next round.
Lynn Robichon and Brick Middelberg coming out. Lynn, one of the two sisters who are climbing here, and they're climbing back to back.
Oh.
So they will be in the, sitting in the chairs at the same time. So maybe a little familial support will go a long way to boost you up. Yeah. And in front of a home crowd as well. And then you see just on the left of your screen, Nina and Luc getting our first look and their first look at the third boulders. I think, did I hear Anna say that women's 3 was straightforward and just power? I just know that I disagreed immediately with her description of that boulder. That looks gnarly.
So incredibly hard, and I think maybe an interesting one to point out, that first big blue hold that we see has to be the heaviest hold on the earth.
It's made of wood.
It's solid wood. It's maybe a meter cubed or more, like reinforced. The whole team of
to hold it,
to put it on the wall, and I assume that once they put it there, they were like, okay, we're done.
We might see that in the finals tomorrow. That's how long that hold is going to be.
No one was moving that hold 2 millimeters before the round.
There was no argument to that. That's great.
But the very core intensive start section to women's 3. So this getting a bit further in the round, we might see the fatigue start to set in.
Definitely, and it's not just your forearms and your fingers that get tired on a semifinal round. Look, a little bit of progress over on the far left side from Luc. Is he going to be able to make the top of that boulder? It's difficult as well. But it's similar to in boxing. You get punched in the body enough times, you get really fatigued. So having to hold core tension, feeling it through your back, through your abs, like up under your arms, getting tired in a round, encompasses the whole body, especially when you have this variety of styles when the route setters have put out there. So it's you're wrong if you think that, oh, my fingers don't get tired. Your whole body will get tired, and it affects your ability to generate momentum and create positions and hold swings. Like, all of it comes down to, all of those pieces of the puzzle. And the job of the route setters, as you heard while they were describing, they're not going easiest to hardest or hardest to easiest. All the boulders are of a similar difficulty, but they're testing different things. And as they test different things, you're going to fatigue in different ways. And Danaan, sometimes your brain gets tired.
Your brain can get
tired of solving boulders.
In many ways, your brain just trying to figure it out, but also there's certainly an element of concentration on a boulder. On a very long climb, your brain can just run out of juice, and you can't focus enough to really compose yourself for the last part of this climb.
And you'll see climbers make what seem to be either rushed or ridiculous or ill-advised decisions near the top of a boulder, and all of that, what you're talking about, is coming into play where you're like, I can't think straight. I'm just going to make an instinctive, desperate or stabby or some kind of move that might not be the right thing, but at least it's going to get me going in the same direction.
Exactly. Quite a common phenomenon. A climber, if they stick a crux that they fully didn't expect to, then dropping the easy move after. They just were not prepared mentally to get there.
Slava getting a little extra body tension. Moving his hand over is going to be enough to use a zone. Oh my goodness, that was close. We almost saw Alicia stick the zone as well. If you're not super familiar with competition climbing, the zone hold, there's one hold on every boulder marked as the zone, and we use that sort of as a almost from look on the left side. We use it, it's not, its definition is not a tiebreaker, it's a point getting opportunity. So you get, tops is what we care about the most, and then we care about how many zones you got to, and then after that we decide based on how many attempts. So getting zones is super critical, and you have to use the zone. So you want to be on the zone and then make a movement to show that you have it well established. That's going to be enough to get the zone. Moving to it to try and match it. You don't have to match a zone. You don't have to hold it for X number of seconds. You just have to show that you're capable of using it. So Slava will get that zone. Clever little toe hook, or heel hook, small box. So that's going to be a bendy boulder.
Bendy boulder.
And now we have Lynn's sister Tessa Robichon and Michael O'Neill.
There we are.
There we go.
Fist pump from the Irishman.
A couple years on the Irish team, new to the Irish team, he's relatively young.
A couple of years, and really I would say quite the driving force behind the Irish team. Very committed, going to comps. There's not a lot of funding and support for the Irish team. They really sort themselves out, they bring themselves to the comp. And it was essentially, if you wanted to go to a World Cup, you called Michael. You'd be like, Michael, have you booked an apartment?
Can I come and stay with you?
So yeah, really a staple of the team, and really helped a lot of Irish climbers out.
That's wonderful. I mean, you need that in some of the federations that don't have the same kind of funding, and you need people who are excited to go and put the work in, and also the organization and all the other things that come along with it. You don't just get to rock up to a World Cup and climb. There's so much that goes into it. A lot of dedication. It's good to see.
Yeah, great to see the athletes just going and doing all that themselves because they love it.
Yeah, love of the sport is still the most important factor. You got to love what you're doing, and then the other things come along with it. Although maybe not a zone on Boulder 1.
Not a zone.
We don't give them away. You still got to work.
Yeah. I'll keep an eye on Paul Brandt here, because he was looking quite strong in the start of this men's boulder.
And sort of choosing now, almost a little coordination. I don't think you can keep your feet down low. 3 climbers have tried now.
Yeah.
And I don't know that Paul's going to look to that inside heel hook. It doesn't look like it fits his frame. So you see him doing a little 1-2. If you can get that second hand on the zone, maybe that's enough.
He clearly looks strong and comfortable in those positions, but hasn't found the right method yet. So yeah, it's there's a timer, and can he figure out the method before the time runs out?
You see, Bibi also, we'll get a look, I think, as we come around. The start of that women's second boulder is, like, there's a reason they're not coming out around that lip with any type of gusto. It is gnarly under there.
Really hard. Your feet.
Look at this.
Angled
Look
below
at
you.
this from Michael O'Neill. Ill-advised, but maybe enough to get a zone. I don't know if we did anything. That's why judging is hard. I don't know that you could pay me to judge a comp these days with the kind of movement we're asking climbers to do and how thin the lines are. I don't know that I give them that zone, but I'm not in that judge's head. I think you see him talking there. They are allowed to ask the judges, is that established?
What
Do I have to
happened?
try again? Because they won't tell you to stop climbing. So you're like, is that a zone? We won't see it so much here. You can appeal a position. If you think that you got a zone and you didn't get it, you can go and appeal it when the results are posted. And they'll go back and look at the tape, and sometimes they do make adjustments. Appeals happen a lot more when there's coaches involved. There's 2 or 3 coaches for every federation.
All of
filming
the
from
gossip
3
is
different
around appeals
Yeah.
in a World Cup. Sure, it's fiery.
Yeah, and you do have to pay, but now they just have a little bucket of money for appeals. And it is, several different cameras filming everything. There's tripods everywhere.
There's Paul,
he did
he's
make
made it
stick.
through.
Wonderful stuff.
But now it's the stroke.
Oh my goodness. Then it gets hard. Now the boulder gets hard.
Now it's really, you can see when you look at that hold, it looks like it's a shadow. It's not. It is that wide. There is no positivity whatsoever. It's only negative. And you've got to really wrestle your way up through that corner, getting to the top. So
the position's awkward. The feet aren't where you want them to be for that
super
position.
high, super in your face, knees in your mouth.
It's basically a layback hold with nothing to oppose.
The layback
without an actual. I mean, the lay is there, the back is not. Tessa fighting down on the bottom right here, and also Urska fighting down on the left side. Just we haven't seen any of the women establish essentially the first big move on that boulder. We will. It'll come. Boyan springy over there, trying to find some magic. All right, Paul, 30 seconds. This will be the last attempt, probably for Michael as well. It does make it stick again. Oh my goodness, just a little too violent.
Michael going back for the heel hook. That is so close. Very hard to get the heel into that position. Here we get some great brushing action.
All right, about 10 seconds to go. That is going to do it for everybody there. So still only one top across the round, as we see Julia Kruder and Nicolo Sartirana come out for their round. Extra brushing from the crew. It's going to put Lynn, Valicia, and Nina on 2, 3, and 4. Brick, Slava, and Luc on men's 2, 3, and 4. Interesting part, you see right in the center of the screen, in between the top of the turquoise and the purple boulder, that little part of the wall that's been added to give a little bit of extra height in this section. And then also they filled in a gap inside the cave.
Yeah.
To make it a little more slabby. They changed the angles for this comp.
I found during competitions it's not very easy to see what's going on in the cave. So yeah, they make the boulders rather slightly outside, so the viewers have a bit of an experience.
Yeah. And you can only set so hard out of a cave. Nicolo, pretty smooth here, getting
a toe hook.
Toe hook.
Very comfortable right now.
Yeah.
Here we are.
It's looking like the right footwork.
As you will.
So strong through there. Can he find the finish position?
Oh, dearie me.
Dropping tops hurts, but
that is tragic. He was up there. It looked so comfortable. That's just how it is. Some days it's easy.
Yeah, exactly. And just the finish position, you know, not every top is a giveaway. There was a time where you kind of slam dunk the top and got to swing around and wave. Those boulders still exist. Sometimes we give them a good hold to finish on, and sometimes we give them dual textured thumb underclings. So finding that, look at this. My goodness,
there we go.
Just trying to find the right inside out position from Nina. Look, where do I go from here?
It's not a move that you often practice in your local climbing gym.
No.
So you've got to run through it all in your head, on the wall. What am I going to do right now?
And even, you know, where your right foot is going to matter. Whether your hands are too close to the wall, how bendy your wrists are. Like, that's just, it's uncomfortable for sure.
Certainly, and these types of climbs, it does come to a point where people just don't have the right physicality to do it. Anyone with some kind of back issue is not going to have fun.
No. You see Luc getting a lean around the corner. Oh, and just not quite hanging on. Those round holds, we'll have lots of time to look at them, but they are completely dual textured, so no texture on the globe part of those holds, and then just little nubbins. And look at this, back up to the top. Nicolo finds the match this time, just sort of a little more burly. Gave up the cleverness, didn't go hunting heel hooks. And we get our first top on the men's round.
That was far too easy compared to what everyone else has been doing.
Yes.
Sometimes people are just a bit more sticky.
Yeah, well said.
That's what we used to say about Saratu. He's just more sticky than anyone else.
You're like, it's one of the intangibles. I cannot explain it. Julia making the corner. He's got to get that footwork sorted out.
Yeah, a very, very experienced athlete, but one of the taller in the field, and you can see your feet get very, very close to your hands on that volume, and so it's going to be a bit tougher if you're
Slava just going full power.
All in, all cards on the table.
Yeah, I like that. He's the first climber to hit that zone confidently, so showing a little extra power, and now we're, wow, thank you for bleeding after your top. Appreciate that, Nicolo.
Maybe a little technical, is it?
Yeah, but it won't have it. As long as Fred can get this cleaned, chalked, and dry in less than, yeah, no problem. It would be interesting to see if they have cleaned it in time to move through, or if they're going to bump that spot and need to let it dry. I think he got it done in time, so we'll see. But, oh, a little bit of double frustration there from coming off the start move. Slava again right at the top and shaking his hand. I hope that's not an injury.
Wow. Wow, trying to rock through.
Yeah.
We're going the dynamic beta.
Lynn just trying to push it out. That is...
got quite far over.
Exactly. I was going to say, like, that's not maybe the best way, but you do what you can. That's part of the deal. Franziska Ritter. And we'll see if they bring out Tadiano Sordam as well. And no, it looks like they are going to hold a spot out, which doesn't affect anything really. Then we're just going to have one gap slowly roll its way through the competition. And we'll have one male climber on the wall all by themselves at the end of the round. And sometimes they don't mind that. You get the crowd all to yourself.
It will be Samuel, who really did an amazing job in qualifiers. So let's not give him any chances. Keep the pressure high, as he's a young gun, and the old dogs were a little bit not best pleased at how much he dominated that qualifier round.
Yeah, he's been just tearing it up. Like,
very, very strong, but we'll chat all about him when he
when he comes to the wall. When he comes to the wall,
we'll not give him a break.
You still got to perform every time. So we're in full semifinals mode now. Climbers on every boulder problem. You know, if you're new to semifinals and you were curious how it's going to work, you're seeing it. It's a bit chaotic, of course, for a broadcast, because we try and show you as much of the action as possible. We do want to get some close-ups. We want to catch some tops. But for us, we want to just try and bring you as much of the entertainment as possible. The wide angle here does so much for that. We are going to, you know, focus here and there, but you're getting a taste of what a good semifinals round looks like. It's a little bit struggle bus at the beginning, and then people are going to start topping boulders. You sort of sneak one in and then sneak another one in. You think, oh, things are starting to happen. The crowd will wake up a little bit. Francis Scott, man, that left volume that people are slipping on, it's decent, but still, anytime you see somebody slip unexpectedly, you know that the friction just isn't where you wish it was. Oh, look at this. Boyan makes the corner. And Urska just unwinding here. Looking pretty solid.
Getting up in there, trying to go directly above rather than across to the zone.
Oh, Paul.
Oh, that was a long barn door.
Yeah, Paul and Michael both just coming off. Boyan unable to control how stretched out he was around that corner. Francisco so careful.
Nice and slow. Really difficult to bring this left foot through without your hips coming too far out. That's what's going to kick you off.
And the match is no fun.
Your right toe, very, very fine, very hard to rotate on because it is behind the corner there. Scary bickies.
You even saw her left hand looking around like, can I crimp this a little bit? Where am I going to generate friction from?
Here, Paul now, setting up for the last big move.
Oh, he gets it. Paul Brandt, a decent undercling, pretty good stem. Good stuff from Paul.
Great fight there. You could see he's struggling with the start for a while, and other athletes doing that first coordination move, not figuring out the top whatsoever. Paul did it with perfect technique, going up statically to the first hold, and then 1-2, right into the good, left into the undercut. Those are quite good holds, but very, very hard to use somehow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. You can definitely pull down on them, but everything just seems to be tilting the wrong way. That wall tilts overhanging, and then it kind of kicks you to the left, and you don't want to be getting pushed in the direction you're going. There's no footholds over there. You saw him in that stem was a smear. I think the post was maybe in the way of his left foot. There's no foothold on the left side.
Nope, just jump and fight. Michael now looking good.
The right side heel. This is good stuff.
Can he see? He's going to need to rejig those feet a little bit. Is that heel going to bring him all the way up?
Is he looking behind? He's looking behind for maybe a little false drop knee.
Very, very tenuous heel, but great effort, and unfortunately not quite enough to get up through there.
A nice look at Paul here, getting that return precision. Also, and then losing the right foot here with you said he did it perfectly. Loses the right foot, regains the right foot, showing a little bit of extra power left behind. Afra Hönig, and now we're going to see Tadjano Sordom.
Afra, staple on the German climbing team for quite a while, and actually qualified first in a Salt Lake City World Cup once, which was very exciting.
And it's one of my favorite things about going back through a whole season or a couple of seasons of World Cup comps is that because the field is so deep and we take so few to the final, that it's very rare where you just see the same people pop up here and there. All it takes is a couple climbers maybe having a bad day, you having a good day, or you just having your best day. So you'll see there's a lot of climbers on the World Cup circuit who will only make 1 or 2 finals in their whole career. And you think, well, once you've made one, shouldn't you just make the rest? Like, absolutely not.
Not how it works at all.
Good fight there from Nicolo. He's having a round, it would appear. Getting right up there on his first try.
Let's see if he can get there again. He should ideally be a little bit more composed and really well set up to hopefully be the first to top that boulder.
Knowing the terrain is big, getting up there once and then recognizing the position and understanding what the holds feel like makes it, you know, that second and third attempt. Look at it, nice high foot from Afra right away, solving that transition to this position, and then just a really careful stand up.
Just about as the height.
That's great. A really good example of what it takes to match a finish. So you just need both hands touching the finish hold. So one fingertip. Good climbing from Afra. Just on the left side. Brick just kind of getting to that zone again. Trying to, oh, hold quite cleanly to that. Really good control.
Here we see setting up on men's number 2 now. Are we going to get a top? Comfortable on that left-hand guppy. That seems to be the way. Releasing the feet first.
Yeah.
You don't have that outwards momentum when you take the
Good
swing.
look at Afra getting that right fingertip. And then, oh, you know, when you're not, you quick look at the judge.
Trying to look at the judge
like, oh.
under your arm.
Yeah, do I have this?
You see this, right?
Yeah, right? You're seeing me watch this? Good, good, good. There have been rare instances of climbers not getting tops, like celebrating without ever matching. There's all kinds of weird stuff happen at the top of boulders.
The Manu Cornu is basically what everyone goes off of. One hand, cheers the crowd, and falls before getting the other hand on.
It's like...
It will gone down in history forever. The Manu Cornu, it's been named after it.
That I didn't actually know.
Oh.
I didn't know that we decided to name it in that way. That's great.
Type it in Google, you'll get it.
That's wonderful new information for me. Tediano looking for the right footwork. Nice little toe.
Very nice.
Keeping that barn door in control, but doesn't love it. I love watching the decision making on the fly.
Yeah.
Just trying an idea just long enough to see if it'll work, and then,
whoa,
that will be powerful if he gets it.
Heavy layback on with those high feet. Hard to do, and we don't know if that hold really has good enough directionality to carry him all the way up to the top.
Yeah, it would be a big swing to unpack. Kind of facing the wrong way. Julia almost.
Nearly sticking women's number 2. I don't think we've seen anyone get to the zone yet, but that is very much a more modern comp style boulder. So as we get higher in the ranks, we'll see some athletes get up there.
There we go. Nicolo getting into that right side small box. Put on that volume under the roof.
You can see so much more tired in that attempt.
Yeah.
This boulder drains you.
Yeah, you just, encourage you to watch the body language from the climbers on the more powerful boulders on the second and third attempts. Watch those hips just fall away with nothing to pull them back. But he's going to go again. I'm not sure. In 10 seconds, were you going to top that boulder?
Julia, though,
Julia.
to the top, but she's only got 6 seconds, and there's a match and a go.
Goodness. Tediano close to the top.
Julia realizes she's out of time.
My goodness.
Big pity.
Yeah, well, I mean, the zone would be valuable, but slightly disappointed not to get to the top of that. Amber Schiffeleers and Michael Picolraz. Oh, interesting. I wasn't sure if I was wrong or the name was wrong. Probably because we bumped that empty slot through the climbing order here. See, that's now there's nobody climbing on boulder number 2 for the men. Give it a good brush.
Michael Picolraz, affectionately called Misha, staple of the climbing community. He's always someone the athletes go to on the athlete commission. Big name in the Innsbruck scene. Very, very accomplished climber and training partner of Jakob Schubert. So can't be that bad.
Yeah, exactly. That's if you want to be the best, you have to train with the best, and that's you get these groups of climbers that stay training together and they push each other all the time. And even Miko was saying just when we were chatting in ISO there, that he gets to meet young climbers at comps like this and then invite them to come train with him. You know, come and spend some time. You know, he was saying as well that he spent some time in Japan just last year. We know the strength of the Japanese athletes that are coming out and just saying, I came back and realized that I can no longer look at a boulder and say that's not possible. They just showed him the art of the possible. Test out the span on that pseudo compression movement.
Pseudo compression.
I don't know that you can press something that is open at like 50 degrees. Like you're sort of hoping, but you're not actually, you know.
That is like exactly the type of terminology route setters are going to just use to ruin your day. Oh, it's pseudo compression.
Yeah, like
what does that mean?
What does that mean? It's like you're gonna wish you could compress it, but you cannot. Amber moving very cleanly around the corner. The concentration on that heel.
The heel needs to turn into a toe, which she has done quite comfortably, and now it'll rock up. No bother. Can she match the top? Yes.
Very nice. Love it. Good stuff from Amber. Starting to see that a little bit more unlocking of that boulder here as we get down. I'm almost smack in the middle of the field. Amber was your 11th place qualifier. So, ooh, left foot slip from Michael. A lot of brushing and staring. You'll notice hands on hips, sometimes staring at the ground, sometimes just staring up at the wall. There is that, you're forcing yourself to rest, but running through your head sometimes is, what on earth? What? Why am I here? Like, you know, there's lots that run through your mind. Paul, you see how stretched out. They're sort of forcing this really big swing.
This little section, very, very technical. That left foot, there's a pebble that you have to intensely drop knee to stop your body rotating out from the wall, and Paul just didn't quite manage that.
And it's kind of tiny.
It's very tiny. As is all of the usable surfaces on that those holes.
I think on women's 3, the blue and wood shaped boulder, there's a foothold that they just like shaved the littlest bit of texture into, just to add like a little bit of hope. Like
hope.
Yeah, just enough. It's like the smallest little dual text.
The setter's job is to screw hope onto the wall.
Yes.
Or at least make you think that.
I was going to say, sometimes it's despair. Here we go, getting unwound. Bibi hammers. Oh, Bibi going in the right direction. And Paul,
he's
first,
up there.
Yeah.
That left foot needs to release it, and he knows he's going to take a bit of a swing. Hasn't figured out a way to do that in control. Michael now at the top.
See that just hanging on open-handed. First of those 3 yellow slopey rails. And I cannot wait to see the movement on women's 3. It's just been repelling everyone to this point. And with 15 seconds left, is that enough time to top this boulder?
Misha is looking quite close, but very tenuous.
Oh my goodness! The toe drag. Stops the momentum, but runs out of time. That was so good. That drag. That should have come off. That should have come off. My goodness. Gila Masia and Dragos Gabriel Fluru out now on boulder number 1. My goodness, that was strong.
That was very impressive, and just very unfortunate he did not have the time to continue.
I'm excited. We'll give you a little heads up for tomorrow that in the finals, we go old school here at Dogmasters, and we go 4+ for the finals. So I do love me a 4+.
I think everyone does.
Yeah, you get that last attempt with no time on the clock. We had a couple last year where people pulled on as the clock hit 0 in top boulders, so that's always something to look forward to.
I think let's keep an eye on Afra, see if she can be the first athlete to figure out. Julia made it to the zone, unfortunately didn't have time to get to the top. Afra Hönig now is a strong
Gets the
German
right
climber.
foot up there right
No
away.
bother.
Love that. Love that.
No bother.
Nice heel hook. That's a nice ridge on those pinches. It's a pretty comfy heel hook.
Tense stand there, didn't quite get the left foot in the right place. The boulder is not over in any shape or form. You are just pinching an undercut.
Yeah, and you sort of think, oh, she looks so comfortable with the heel. Of course, you're established, you're in control. Not necessarily the case.
No, not the case at all.
Cadiano getting into this. Is that a little knee bar? It's in shadow. It's hard to tell. That right heel hook is a tiny, tiny, tiny box.
Yeah, that is, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, climbing that boulder.
No.
You were.
Hello. Back up here. Trying to go 1-2. Not quite getting enough into the undercut. Now you've got me saying undercut. Undercling.
You say undercling?
Yeah, we say undercling in North America.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Although I don't mind undercut. I don't mind it. It's probably why it came to mind. There's regionality in naming holds that maybe you're just learning for the first time right now if you're watching.
I'm wondering what else is different.
There's a few out there.
Is there?
Yeah, and then there's also generational changes in names. So what I would call a pixie kick, now would get called we could call the moon kick.
Moon kick.
Moon kick.
Cypher, pogo, ninja kick.
Pogo, ninja. We used to call it
it gets reinvented every.
Yeah.
Pixie kick.
Pixie kick.
What's the history behind that? Who was the pixie?
I don't know where the original pixie was from, but late 90s we called it a pixie kick.
Is it nothing to do with the Dixie Chicks?
No, not at all.
Damn.
No. Sorry to disappoint. Unrelated to American country music. Unrelated. Yeah, I've said pixie kick on broadcasts as long as I've been doing them, and people correct me, and you think, you can't correct history. So you can call it whatever you want now. I'm going to happily call it a pixie kick. I will sometimes call it a moon kick.
Yeah, it gets quite a few. UK's got a very famous climb named after it called the Cypher. But yeah, very much a modern movement technique where you cannot generate momentum from the holes in your hands, and we're seeing that multiple times on this competition. While you got to use your legs to generate the momentum, not your hands.
Nicolo getting a little bit more control that time, but still, I mean, you can be touching the finish hold and still a mile away. That's a good look here at Tadiano. Just running out of gas.
Yeah. Like, too aware of the pain he has to go through.
Yeah. Dragos.
Afra now setting up. Can she get through? Yes.
Yes.
No.
Oh, that kind of coordination is tricky.
Flashed through the jump and now unable to get back there. Very, very upsetting.
Yeah, it's hard on your mind to have done a move and then not be able to repeat the move. I mean, it is the essence of climbing, is to repeat what you've already done. You go, all right, boom, in the bag, got that one figured out. Not on the sort of mid to low percentage, and you watch Tadiano getting slowly less progression on every attempt. I'm telling you how hard the boulder is, but even here, Nicolo, this will be his 4th time up to the top of this boulder. Really wants this.
Oof. Not the composure. You can see tired. Yeah. Afra finally gets through, but she's got 6 seconds. Same situation as Julia.
Running out of clock. Yeah, that's going to do it. Yeah, you maybe hear the crowd groan in the background.
We heard.
Yeah, that was that. All right, Julia Banache and Isaac Leff coming out now. Oof. All right, we're in the midst of it. Top 10 now.
It's getting big.
Now we're going to see some heavy hitters coming up so soon. I'm excited. I'm like looking at the names that are coming up in the running order, and I'm like excited. I'm excited to see strong people.
But some unknowns as well.
Couple.
we're going to scrutinize heavily. Ooh, headbang there. Okay, is that right?
None the worse for wear. Just scanning back and forth, looking for see who's making progress. Amber setting up the corner. You see that she's not the first. A lot of the women second guessing how to generate this position and spending a long time on that left hand. I mean, that's a good 8 or 9 seconds bearing down at relatively small crimp over there.
Yeah, and we can't see from this angle, but you do start off, your right foot is pressing, but your left foot's in a toe hook that is essential for staying in. So you're not just standing there hanging on crimps, you're really full body compression between the crimps and the toe hooks to stay on, and that tires the hell out of you, and then you've got to go do a massive dyno.
Yeah. Good stuff from Julia. Getting the zone and stepping through.
Foot to hand, make sure your hand's
out of the way. Everyone who's ever stepped on their own thumb or fingers knows that is an uncomfortable position.
It's a Darwin moment.
Yeah.
We are hard stand, but she's making it work.
Just for a minute, I thought she didn't trust the right foot enough. Good stuff from Julia. That kind of dynamic reset, anytime you see a climber like hop a foot, that's high risk, but sometimes completely necessary.
Exactly.
Ooh, look at this now.
Is that Misha?
Misha
is getting into the fight that we've seen no one win yet.
Yeah, I got a heel in there and sort of had the side pull, and then climbed backwards a little bit, trying to maybe reestablish a better position. Standing there, hands on hips. Not sure what to do, maybe.
Boulder, I do believe, set by Gregor Vezonik, so we've got World Cup strength testing the climb, so you're not getting away with anything.
No. Yeah, he's only 6 months retired. He's still got that. Although he did say being a dad is harder and more enjoyable.
I've heard
about being a World Cup climber.
Oh, I've heard about dad strength.
Not yet, I think. I think you're gonna have a couple years.
Okay, and then you get really
dad
strong.
Strength, yeah. Three women climbing, all just establishing at the same time.
See if Amber now, you can see that right foot so high, and that's what you got to get up and over and then jump.
The snap has to be there, but you can see how difficult it is to generate over the foot. The foothold, I mean, Danaan, it's big, but it's not particularly good, and it's moving away from you. You're not being able to step down.
Exactly. You've got to get up and your weight over it before you can really drive through it, otherwise it's just going to slip. And your left foot is underneath the wall, so it can only generate so much. You're really generating from your left arm, trying to pull that lat, and so it's a very, very heavy weighted pull-up with one arm that you're trying to do.
Yeah, and that's complex. I mean, the fact that it took you 20 seconds to describe how to get in and out of position tells you how complex that kind of movement is. Misha getting far laid out here. That left foot is running out.
He's still on.
Oh, he's still on.
He's getting up. Oh, he's coming out.
Oh. You could see as he was moving, every time he moved up, he slid.
I wanted to cry.
Oh my goodness.
I could see the pain he was going through every moment on that climb. He can, I guess, go tell Gregor a piece of his mind later.
Yeah, he'll find it. Sometimes they do that. Who set that? They'll go find the route setters that they know well. I mean, like, who set number 2?
You want to hang out after World Cups.
Yeah.
It's a exciting time.
And sometimes the complaint isn't a real complaint. Any climber you ask will tell you that they want to climb hard boulders. So they complain sort of, Antoine Girard giving us,
give me a call.
Give me a call, I'm always available. And Hake Havermans, a young Dutch local.
Qualified in a very high position.
Yeah. Climbing on the youth team. Just under, I think just under the age where you're allowed to compete in youth. She's quite young. But obviously climbed very well this morning.
Right in the middle of the field with some senior athletes.
Yeah. Which may be intimidating, maybe just exciting. I never competed as a youth climber, so I didn't ever get to make the transition from the youth scene. And you do have a year or two in transition as you sort of hit 16, 17, 18, where you can climb as a youth and as an open climber. And a lot of climbers, young climbers, it's an interesting time. You grow at different rates, your arms get really long, your muscle hasn't built, and that transition, just in the start hold. But going and playing with the big kids, as it were, some of the youth not intimidated at all. They're just excited to be there.
Wow.
Yeah, they're just sort of excited to be in that position. Antoine making good progression.
Going big for the top.
As you were saying just a couple climbers ago, how good is the last hold? Can it hold the dynamic drive-by like that? And maybe.
Completely vertical, so as you go, you have to kind of oppose with your lower hand and your foot. Not easy to do at all, but got pretty close there. I'd be excited to see if he can do it next go.
On the left side of the screen, still a lot of no tops.
No tops. It's a relatively stiff round. I think that was kind of the plan after the qualifiers, getting a lot of tops, and essentially the athletes were only separated on attempts on a couple of boulders, so setters were confident in making it a bit stiffer.
And they learn more from hard boulders than they do from easy boulders. And whether or not they want to tweak, as you were saying, they watch the climbers in the qualifying round and then maybe tweak the semi. They watch the semi and then they'll maybe tweak the final, make them slightly easier, slightly harder. And a hard round tells you a lot more about climbing ability than a soft round.
Yeah.
So you want to see people coming off. Route setters they don't hope you fall. They just hope that not everybody flashes. So you have to make the boulders hard enough for people, really good climbers, to not finish all of them.
Heke up there.
Love it. The crowd, of course, lets her know. Oh, and look at this. Boulder number 3. Afra making progress like we have not seen. And Antoine staring down the finish again. Does hold that tension. So 2 tops on that boulder in 2 different styles. That was strong.
That was impressive. Really, really controlled just on how far left he went. He didn't actually have to kill very much momentum because he only put in enough directionality that he didn't have to stop too much.
I love this look back to both the crowd and the judge. Nice dismount. Yeah, he controlled the right side, the tension to not swing at all. Not to be understated. That's very powerful climbing.
Very, very cool to see essentially a technical solution to a very powerful crutch.
Yeah. Gila not being able to do that opening move, but just you got to keep coming back for more.
Let's see now, Julia Crew there seeming to make some progress on women's number 4.
Yeah, got turned around.
Getting turned around. The suggestion was that you don't actually turn.
Watch the right side. Don't watch the finish hold. Watch the right side and how little swing there is. That's so powerful.
Really impressive there.
Love it. A little top. This is the right top of the wall, then wave. Tediano has been close on a few boulders. I don't know, with a minute left, is that enough time? Hard to tell.
See, you can see Afra gearing up for a final go. She was, it seems, only athlete to get to the zone so far.
Yes, yeah.
I think that is something you're going to see. This is such a core-intensive boulder and a skill set that only the more trained athletes have. You can always use technique to figure something out, but
yeah,
got to be strong for this one.
Strong. She got into the side pull and it's just hiding behind the post. It's a decent side pull, but again, all your momentum is traveling left to right, and it's a right-facing side pull. So the only thing to control the swing is going to be, can you get the left hand involved? Can you squeeze your core? 5 seconds to go. Dragos just hunting a zone. And this will be an absolute crowd favorite, of course. World Cup favorite, Stasha Geho and Slav Kirov. Stasia she's just super fun to watch climbing.
Oh God, she's an absolute legend, both to watch and to speak with. Yes, I can't say enough good things about Stasia, and she is currently the 2 times champion of Dock Masters.
Yeah, back to back.
But this is the year that she's transitioning out of competitions, so not in the tip-top shape that she has been for last year, so don't want to put too much pressure and expect the world from her, but we certainly know we'll get to have a good time watching her climb.
Yeah, and she's so gracious with her time, and she's always available to have a chat, and super candid about how she's feeling about, you know, that day or that boulder or the day before, and I do like personalities like that in our community. Are just super fun to be around.
Slav Kirov now on the left, cruising through the start of that boulder.
Just fine.
No problem whatsoever. And is he going to give us a top right off the bat?
Doesn't like the left. Oh, dear.
Swapping it out.
Oh, no. High heel. A lot of things. Danaan, you can, and climbers, you guys will know this watching at home. You get on a boulder, you make a footwork decision that makes you feel really comfortable where you are, but you can't leave.
Yeah,
so bringing that heel in is like, okay, great, I brought my heel in, but it's not created a position I can leave from, and you can get trapped in that corner. And sometimes setters will even steer you into that corner, be like, oh, look how comfy this stem is. Yeah. Oh, how about that drop knee over there? Oh, you can't leave.
How about that drop knee?
Yeah, shouldn't have gone there to begin with. So
do you have a colloquial term for this? Red herring, I've heard it called.
A red herring for sure. I like a sucker move.
Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh, just coming up short.
And yeah, I think we saw in that corner Stasia getting into this sucker position, sucker move.
Sucker move, yeah.
Sucker state. And yeah, she stood up on that higher foot, and that was actually not the right way to then carry on to the next move.
It's things that feel right in the moment, and then you just suddenly realize that you don't know, and you'll see climbers climb backwards to unwind positions they've created that aren't sustainable.
Yeah.
Or are sustainable and can't actually progress from, I guess.
Very hard to do, but looks like Stasia and Slav setting up, looking pretty good.
Stasia's going to want that to be a toe. Slav getting this kind of right side toe drag. That's a hard match.
Wow.
My goodness.
Amazing effort from both athletes there. Slav
at the same time. Stasia getting it done.
Slav is the ultimate dark horse. I was actually working a competition in Bulgaria, Waltopia showcase event, and there was some big name athletes there. Brooke Rabatou, Sean Rabatou as well, and Stefano Gazolfi, big comp. Stefano couldn't make it, and we only found out the day before, and the last minute they had to get a replacement. There was this kid in town.
Local kid.
Kid. We were like, oh, there's a kid in Sofia, we can get him to compete. And he went and won.
Jeez.
So ultimate dark horse there, Slav Kirov has just gone and topped first boulder.
Excellent, similar body tension control. Getting close.
Getting up there.
Yeah, getting the match before the foot. That kind of timing, super difficult.
Yeah, we saw Misha just falling off the last move on that yellow. Let's keep an eye out if he can figure it out before time's up.
He's ejecting too far out from the wall, and we've seen that from everybody that's gotten close but not gotten in there, is that generating away from the wall instead of up. Just that shade too much.
Just need to have the energy to pull in after all the moves that got you there.
Yeah.
Here he is, he's set up. Let's see how he's going to make of this last move. And he does it. Great job there.
You can see just how the way he moved, like in, just as you were saying, just as we know, into the wall, and you saw the hips come in, and then that foot drive is actually taking you the way you want to go, and then it looks easy. So if that was the only attempt you saw, you think, oh, that boulder's too easy, but then you have to wind it back and see the same climber be, I mean, nowhere near sticking it only 30 seconds ago.
Yeah, yeah.
So learned movement is a huge part of competition climbing. From your first attempt to your top, you've got to figure out what's working, what's not working, and then dial in movement. Lucille Sorel and Kaito Watanabe.
Two athletes wearing the super clothes, which is one of the, I believe, the main sponsor of the
top
event.
gold sponsors.
They're
Yeah.
NKBV. So exciting to see. They'll have to do really well on this super boulder.
Yeah, right? That would be a little bit ironic.
Don't let the brand down.
Don't let the brand down for sure. I also want to take just a second to shout out. We know that they're broadcasting this comp. They're showing it at all of the other gyms that they own here. So across the board, they've got them up in the gym. So shout out to everybody watching in Zudhaven, in Radium, in Apex, in Rost, in Kunststoff, and in Krakstoff. And forgive my pronunciation of Dutch town names. I do my best. Oh, campusing through. Wow. Good stuff from Antoine.
Big shouts for Kaito. Kaito is, on the inside climbing community, a very big name.
Yes.
Very well known, very strong, but he's a route cert. He's been all around, done some great, amazing competitions. But working at that
on
level.
the left side, the best we've seen, gets to the undercling, staring down the top. No, the foot lets him down. Kaito trying to one arm. Antoine Girard.
There we go. No bother for Kaito. That was impressive.
That was, I know if you're not super into the details, that's going to look like the other tops. That was pretty powerful. My goodness, that was impressive.
Extremely impressive. Very complicated boulder. Just hard to do on your first try.
And just
so hard to do.
To be so far left to basically go straight to the finish. Like, he didn't have to control the swing because he took it out of the picture. Puts those left, they're so much worse the farther left you go. You see everybody had their toes way behind that. No, he just came around straight up. That's wild. That's very, very difficult. Whew, Kaito.
Lucille, she's in that position now where I don't think we've seen anyone fall from there, but the boulder clearly isn't over. Maybe she's gone too far ahead.
Come on now, that's you. That's 100% on you. No one's fallen from here. The danger is that the heel feels really good to pull you around the corner, but the heel won't get you to the top of the boulder.
Heel won't get you to the top, and you could see she was looking for some screw holes to grab, which are allowed in the volume. I've seen actually one of the setters hammering little bolt heads in to block the screw holes.
Sometimes little bits of plastic, earplugs. I've seen them use like the old orange earplugs. Look at this.
That left foot, the left foot was the killer.
Yeah.
But you're in such a insecure position because your right hand is basically nothing and your left is a little crimp that you're holding upside down. So he's not going to feel super comfortable to bump that left foot into a nice place. And yeah, that was the killer.
Yeah, kind of had it as like a toe drag to keep position, but tricky, tricky stuff. Heke now staring down the jump, just hasn't been able to generate enough power to escape that
getting a hand position. On it, though, and she is in close enough to the wall.
Dragos taking lots of time to try and solve the left foot just to eject it. Open hand slopers can only spend so much time.
The clock ticks as soon as you put your hand on it, unless you've got the world's best skin.
Are you inside my head right now? I was just gonna say, I was just pausing to say that when I coach a lot, I tell people that every hold has a timer on it. As soon as you grab it, that timer starts. And some timers are 10 seconds, some are 5, some might be a minute. But if you don't leave before that timer runs out, you're not gonna have the power. And then that's wild. You said what I was thinking. See Heke fighting.
Let's see, men's number 2. Going again.
Antoine, holding that lock off.
Great little scorpion, just kill the swing there.
Yeah.
Okay, fight.
Heke, not quite. Antoine.
He's getting up.
You see the slide, gets the undercling.
It's not everything you want it to be.
No.
See how he sets the feet.
Same position.
Left drop knee. Got to turn it out, but now it's rolling down the hold. Is it going to be good enough? No.
No, he got his right hand about 3 more bumps. And then that's a great angle of how terrible the finish hold is. From the ground, from underneath, you can't tell if it's flat or not. It's not.
It's not. It's not flat.
Sorry to disappoint, but it is not. Wow, what a really powerfully cool boulder. Georgia Tessio and Angers Peharts.
These are names that you'll
start to recognize
on the World Cup circuit.
Yeah.
Georgia, one of the athletes that really stood out in the qualifier round on the women's 2 qualifier, this red slab that only 2 athletes on the whole field managed to get a zone.
Right, that boulder was stout.
That was very tough, but Georgia she only achieved the zone, but she was falling off going for the top. So I may have spoken too soon, but we should expect to see pretty good job on this slab. And Stasha now, if she's good at anything, it'll be this big jump up. Going from a heel though. There we are, setting,
swap,
going. Easy.
Yeah, the difference in the power that she's able to recruit.
Yeah, but now here we've seen 2 athletes come off, so what's Stasha gonna figure? Getting into that pinch, it looks like that left foot, bit of a better position.
Oh, a slip. Little slip, and that hold not good enough. You even saw the squeeze to try and stay.
Anjay now, he's been here for a while.
Yeah. Getting that
across the walk, the swing
backwards.
Wow, looking good though. Looking quite comfortable in that left hand.
Yeah.
And the foot, is it too high for him?
Good grief. The left hand hasn't, it hasn't budged. Now we're starting to see fatigue.
That foot was very high, pushing him back from the wall.
Big sigh. Agreed. Agreed, Mr. Peharts.
Yes, me too.
We're just down here, and we know.
Georgia now may fall into a similar trap of Stasha going high. Now this is the technique.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Final move here.
Amber Schiffeleers. Can she get the press?
Oh no.
Not quite. Time on the clock. It will be a sapping attempt, but that's encouraging.
Needs a really good rest now.
Yeah, one of the most stressful things you'll see as a climber get a good first attempt and then rests for like a minute and a half.
So Stasha through the crux on women's 2. Are we going to see the first top so far? There was a left foot pop just before.
Still doesn't love it
for that.
Hard to get out of this stem. That's powerful.
Oh, big fight.
My goodness.
There we are.
Finish.
Stasha Gayo needs to match it.
No heel hook. Does get the match. Ooh, that right foot just elects not to throw the heel up and stays a low stem. My goodness. Just barely hangs on to the top.
Just barely. But
like may have turned jump off to avoid looking like slipping off.
She was on, but she wasn't on it for much longer.
No. Good stuff from Stasha. First top of women's number 2. Anjay
at the top, trying a different foot there.
Yeah,
so comfortable, not using the red at all right now. Really figuring a way to stand in those, but
he's tall, right? He's tall with those high feet. It's going to be maybe a more awkward position for him. You can see he's so casual to get there and then immediately uncomfortable with both options. And now you get into that sort of the 3 bears problem. Now what? You tried one, as you get another look at, watch this right foot. It's so bad. The low stem, she gets that.
Shan't comment, that's the judge's decision.
Georgia Tessio getting it right on her 3rd try, I believe.
You can see she kills the fall out, but she doesn't bring it in.
No.
So stops and She's not back on the mat, so let's say that is enough.
Isaac with the jump. So yeah, so Andre has a decision to make. He's tried one thing, it didn't work. He tried another thing, it didn't work. Do you go to the third thing, or do you go back to 1 or 2? And it's hard to make that decision because you don't want to be wrong. Amber Schiffeleers
managed to twist on that, worrying how far behind her head arms are.
My shoulders definitely don't do that. Oh, going up left hand. So
wow, he's so far. The hold is not good enough to hold though with the left.
So 3 different ways to get through that. Amber having to rush through. They do hear the beeping, so they know when they're in those last 5 seconds. And that's when you see the absolute desperation kick in. So close, but no tops.
Heartbreaking moment for her there.
Yeah. And now Jessie Pilz and Mika Mauem, names you will recognize if you've been watching climbing for any length of time. And they are in 4th. So 2 climbers who could easily have been at the top of the field coming out of the qualifiers. As you said, they were pretty stout. That slab turned away everybody but 1. Jessie and Mika will be super fun to watch on these.
Super fun to watch. So she is a bronze Olympic medalist. That is no mean feat. But speaking to her earlier, she's obviously very difficult mentally to recover after such a big the Olympic season.
Yeah, and it sort of threw all your training like up and out the window, different focus. Meanwhile, Kaito, look at this little knee bar getting kind of an under hug early to the side pull.
Kaito's looking pretty good.
Right beside him.
This is that unique strength he has.
Can't quite.
Here we popping out of the left Gaston.
And then
Jessie though.
Still, yeah.
Topping out.
Jessie smooth. Lucille almost topping that boulder. And Kaito quite close. Even falling off, he still had friction in his right hand there. Like that was the last thing to come off the boulder.
Sticky guy.
Sticky guy. Didn't really compete on the world level that much, but is just a beast. And we know this, right? As you said, if you're a little bit, kind of a layer deeper, then you'll know the name, you'll know what he's capable of.
He's a like top level route setter, and he's the guy you call if you need to set a hard move.
Yeah.
Because I've been at comps with him recently where he, in setting, did moves that none of the world's best athletes could do afterwards.
You think, okay, so Kaito did it. Doesn't mean it's possible. Look at this. Now from Gila Masia. Didn't love the press. Elected for maybe a bit of a jump move. Antoine, who's looked good on everything so far, can't get the purchase on that next to last hold. My goodness. It's starting to get interesting. Mika slipped on his first attempt in the zone. Couldn't coming around the corner and establish. And Lucille now back into the zone. Looked so casual to hear on her first attempt.
Wasn't able to. Looks like she's not going for that wide left foot that Stasha had. Maybe Stasha specifically had the reach. Whoa, no.
Canvassing.
Oh, dearie me. That was hard.
And then we see Kaito.
Let's keep an eye out. It looks like we might see something good. He popped out of the Gaston before, but he's way more comfortable than anyone else in this position right now. Spoke too soon?
Only just too soon. Last time he looked very comfortable. He's getting into that small compression space. The closer your feet are to your hands, just the more the smallest movement feels like it's pushing you, out of the way instead of the small box. That opposition can be so hard to control.
A whole lot of person hanging off the wall between those two very
Look, left side of your screen. Gila Masia jumping to the finish. Getting it done. My goodness.
That will be one we want to see a replay of.
My goodness. Exploded out of there. Just looked over and saw her. Antoine really took almost no rest. Quick brush. Wow, that was
There
early.
we go.
Look at this.
Big move, big jump.
Dunks it.
Forgoing that palm press on the right. I think she tried it before. She figured out she wasn't quite fitting in that box as easy as she wanted, and skip it out. If in doubt, skip it out.
Tried it, didn't like it. Kaito back up into the position. Mika still hasn't done Boulder 1.
Okay, Kaito's getting set up, but the fight is real this time.
Yeah, and just the fatigue for sure. Still looking up. I love that. Back to the campus. Lucille Sorel.
Oh, you're not going to stick that in campus.
Oh my goodness.
Whoa.
Oh.
He was there.
Was there. Didn't maybe.
Does he have the reach? Oh my goodness. Bumping from the toe hook.
What?
What the hell was that?
What?
That made no sense. What on earth was that?
When you have the power, I guess, you hop a one-handed.
What did he just do? That was offensive.
Wild. That was wild.
I'm upset.
I'm with you. I think I agree. Chloé Caulier and Arthur Ribolo. Mika Mawem.
It's supposed to be hard. He's supposed to struggle.
Wow. He did have trouble with the beginning, but then just
broke physics.
Threw that out the window.
From a toe hook.
From a toe hook.
Hands are basically nothing.
Yeah.
Jump between two pebbles.
Tiny pebbles.
What the hell?
Just, and he got the accuracy.
What the hell?
That's insane.
The toe hook. Like, no, I don't get it.
Yeah, go back on the live stream when we're finished. Watch Kaito's top to see the power to control it so smoothly, and then just watch that foot swap. That was ridiculous. Nice, Georgia. No problem. And Artur, really well done. Strong young kid.
Georgia now setting up. We're going to see a second top on this climb. Now, into that heel, is that...
Oh, see the way she did that heel.
Very well done.
She brought the heel up while matching the pinch. At the same time. What is happening right now? The gravity has been turned down.
That's how they do these comps. They just, it's not actually qualifying who's did best. They just turn the gravity down.
Yeah, when they choose. Wow. This is great. I hope you are entertained at home. Every now and then we get rare moments, and you've just seen 2 or 3 of them. Chloé Caulier. Making the early reach. I do like this boulder for how many questions it asks right away.
Nobody's walking through it.
No, like, oh, I'll just get into this press real quick, and then, oh, no, I won't. Oh, I'll just, no, I won't do that either. And then when you finally get it, you go, oh, right.
Now that left foot is going to be a scary release. It's all right, though.
Good
Still on.
Control. Really good control.
Heel to hand. Slowly does it. And here's the foot swap. Boom.
Nice.
Chalking up for...
No hands perch.
Not sure what she's chalking up for, but she's doing it.
For her mental health, perhaps.
That's what I chalk up.
Yeah, that's why I chalk up as well. 1, 2. Good stuff, Chloé Caulier. Very nice.
Chalk for mental health.
Slav.
Now we're starting to see
a
bit of an empty wall because athletes are getting to the top of things.
People are doing boulders. Andre, a couple of good tries, but just keep your eye always on the very far left, that men's corner. Every time someone gets close, we haven't seen anyone. Ooh, close from Slav. We haven't seen anybody really look good coming around the corner on the 4th boulder for the men.
No one really making good progress on women's 3. You can tell that is a hard boulder. Stasha, one who you would expect more of that power focus style.
Quick look at the scoreboard as we stand now. Keep in mind that not everybody has climbed all of the boulders, but Stasha looking good with 2 tops. Georgia as well, and then Afra the only one to get sort of that 3rd zone. Yeah, stout climbing, which is okay. I mean, I've seen dozens of World Cups where 2 tops will get you into a final. Don't expect the last even 6 climbers to do 4 boulders. That's not how it's designed. Stasha does look good here, though.
Keeps the toe. Okay, right foot up.
Progress on 3 boulders now.
Into the crab.
Not quite.
Anjay on the right. He's setting up. It's that right toe taking him away. He's still weight on the left.
He's got it as a heel. Can he drag it out? No. You saw him just trying to decide what to do with that left foot. That volume, it's not giving you a lot under the roof there, that push.
And you're trapped under when you want to go further. Scary position to be.
Yeah.
Foot just skites away as soon as you shift your position.
So no love for Stasha. On boulder number 3, we see Katja Tebevec and Artur Lebris. This is something we decided to do for Dock Masters this year, is so you could get a good look at each pair of climbers as they come out, is to put them in front of the camera so we can get their names, get their faces out there for you, because mostly we just see the backs of climbers, and then not everyone knows what to do when they're a foot away from a camera with nothing else to look at. So I like some of the awkward uncomfortableness. I'm a big fan of getting climbers' faces out there for the public. We did it at US Nationals a couple times, where after they finished the boulder, we had them come out and stand at the edge of the mat, and we put their score up for that boulder.
What if they didn't do good on the boulder?
You still got to stand there for 20 seconds till they wave you away. Yep, so it was an interesting kind of moment. Look at Mika, so casual into that moment.
Yeah, big guns on the wall now.
Disappearing off your frame. So this, a small box for Mika for sure. He is a taller climber, but strong enough to deal with it. Lebris, no luck there. That men's and women's boulder very close to each other.
I think it is just the angle, because I get regular fear that they're going to land on each other, but it seems to be just the angle of the camera. There's actually a bit more depth between the boulders than it appears.
This is going to be a tough angle to switch from, but Katja makes it work.
And the swap. Easy.
Very smooth. And that feeling, Danaan, you know that feeling when you're a half a move away from the finish. You're like, just keep it together. Just keep it together.
And
good stuff.
Jesse going to keep it together now.
Yeah.
He's on the top, going for the other athlete to make it up there.
Has the left foot. Does get 1 to 2. Kaito finishing his boulder. Jesse Pilz
needs to move that right foot somewhere. Can she hold from there? No.
Oh, just too much time spent on that finish hold, but lots of time to come back. Kaito with a very quick send. That's going to leave him with some gas in the tank for the last boulder.
I don't think we've seen a top of men's last boulder. The move is...
We've only just seen people make the zone. So you can follow along on the live scoring.
Have a look at Lucille now, through the crux, not able to make that next move past the zone, and that is essentially, it's a good hold. You're not going to have too much trouble getting to the finish, so that's the big one. Easy move from Kaito.
Yeah, oh, and then coming, trying to get that high toe, no problem. So you can watch the scores if you come along here at the NKBV website. There's a results page. You go to the Dock Masters 2025 and you can see where we are. Kaito putting himself in a good place right now. Very good stuff. 4 zones. Misha, Antoine Girard, 3 zones. So a little bit tighter on the men's side.
Jessie Pills now setting up. She's going to want to get the top in there to stay in contention.
And then Heke, you can hear the crowd cheering for her. Hey, we like young athletes climbing hard, and especially when it's when you're essentially at home.
Yeah, very cool to see Heke there. Often finding a totally different solution from any of the other athletes.
Jessie gets the high foot sooner.
No, loses the stability on the feet.
You can see a little frustration there in the hand slap. Oh, Mika just running out of gas.
Big fall there.
He has only just come back to training after being off for a little bit, so you know you'll start to notice it on super powerful boulders, and then anything that's fatigue related.
Here we go. Here's a good shot. Can she lean into that crimp?
Oof. Kind of leaving maybe just too soon from that position. That right hand still really deep under the roof created by that volume. Although it's super awkward to keep moving, sometimes you have to make that extra half shuffle. Jessie, her third time up on the top of this boulder.
Using the energy up there.
Yeah, super casual to get here.
Though.
One.
Oh no, desperate.
We're getting just shy of the top a few times. My goodness, and it's starting to go fast now. We're down to now our top qualifiers, except the men have one extra. So that's Hannes van Dusen and Selma Memoun for the ladies. Starting to run out of climbers, but still we got to get them through their whole 4 boulders. So a little bit of time to go. I hope you've been enjoying the action so far. You don't have to see a bunch of tops for a comp to be exciting. We've seen a lot of very cool movement. We've seen a lot of good saves. We've seen very impressive control even without tops. So for me, it's been a great round to watch so far.
Let's keep an eye on Selma, because she was absolutely dominant in the qualifier. Loads of flashes. One boulder took her 2 goes, and then on that red slab that everyone was so fearful of, she got the zone as well. Only one of 2 athletes on the field to get the zone, so dominant performance in qualifiers.
Hannes getting up to the zone pretty quick.
Opa, Selma is like fitting her foot inside herself to get through.
That's definitely harder. Chloé Caulier.
But she did it.
No problem. Selma backing down. Or sorry, Chloé backing down to get a little shakeout on the zone as Hannes jumps for the finish. You see the sponsors cycling through on the top right of the screen. Some hold sponsors, of course, the NKBV, a big partner in these kinds of events. The National Federation, and then Super, one of the
she's still
big
on.
hold sponsors. She's
still on.
Not quite.
What a heartbreaking finish.
Yeah. Axis La Sportiva are gold level sponsors, and then we have Mammut, and then the Physio Fabrique are doing physio, and then Brewers 11. That's the 11 brewery here in town.
Andre now is heading up for the final chord move, but another one coming too far out from the wall.
And we have a unique situation here where the boulders are set by one hold company. So we're not mixing hold brands across the boulder problems. It's pretty cool. So we have Super that we've mentioned. Rustam Climbing is Rustam Galmanov's hold company, and he climbed in the citizens round today.
Yeah,
so cool to see him walking through. He's from a generation before, so not a lot of people maybe recognizing him. Stasha.
Yeah, she's through. Look, some kind of awful position there. And let's see, I think this top move, she's going to be aware of what's going to work and what's not going to work, and is she going to give it the beans to get through to the top?
Charron got a bit of a wrap there and then took it away for the press.
Going for the static method might not be ideal for her. She's reversed it. Can she rest enough? It's not a good crimp.
No.
You can see the arm shaking. She's trying to rest. Is that what she's looking for?
And from this point, you have to decide, do I step off and go again with that position or keep fighting? She keeps fighting. Just can't get the friction to work for her on the right-hand side. Unleashed, another brand here we have. Fuel Holds, Kryptonite, love that name. Root Setter House, Block Holds. Have 2 boulders here in the semifinal round. I heard that clap in my feedback. My goodness, Chloé just starting to run out of clock. Slab on the corner. Looking super comfortable. Not at all.
Yes, here. Gregor tried to give me the beta for this section and couldn't figure it out himself.
No.
It is really not a clear sequence for the feet. So yeah, and you can see Stasha now. 25 seconds left. Can she get through?
It's enough time if she hustles.
Oh. Foot slip. It's going to be a question. Is it worth pulling on again?
Yeah.
Yeah, quick pull.
Why not? It's the last boulder. Our 2 are not being able to get out of the zone and not knowing that no one else has been able to get out of it either. And Georgia looking as good as anyone has on that boulder, but just unable to close it out. My goodness. So it's continuing to repel all attempts. And Samuel Richard is going to be your final semifinalist. And he will get to climb his pair of boulders all by himself.
Let's see if athletes do need their rest, so they can't move on immediately if they flash the boulder. So if Samuel is flashing these boulders, we might just have a bit of empty space.
Definitely possible.
Lucille, one to watch. She's been getting very, very close on all of her boulders, if not doing extremely well. So she's on women's number 4 now. And Samuel already setting up for that final section of the first men's boulder. Got that toe hook really well.
Yeah.
Now let's see what kind of foot sequence he's going to go for.
The hop.
Bumping the foot.
My goodness, like Mika.
Except he didn't do it.
No.
So clearly it's hard.
Yeah, similar to, but not the same.
I'll catch you on that undercut pinch. Good and generous. This boulder is way, way harder than we
thought it might
believe. Stasha did pretty well as soon as she got through the jump, and no one else has.
No, just like that.
Georgia did the crazy heel to hand swap.
Kaito. This is who, as we look down the list of the people to come across this boulder, sometimes you note that some root setters climb boulders, like complex boulders, better than competitors even because they spend so much time thinking them up on their own.
Yeah.
So you've got a little bit of intuition sometimes.
Root setters always have a plan when they put climb on a wall, and trick is, can you figure out what their plan was?
Yeah. And then can you execute?
Or break the boulder. Always exciting to see. Root setters spend all of their day trying to make climbers cry. Why don't we make the root setters cry for once?
Let's just show them what we're capable of. Mika on the zone there on boulder 3. Ooh, just coming out of the left-hand undercling.
Still no top on men's number 2.
No. Arthur Lebris be the one.
There we go.
Hard.
Samuel's done that foot bounce.
Look at that, he's got a heel jam.
Oh dear. Oh, Samuel's come out of the top on the right. Heel jam, very scary.
Yeah, and maybe not the way, but I mean, it's on dual text.
It's even closer to you. The box is even smaller.
It's one of those things that maybe seems like a good idea in the moment. Jessie Pills ejecting to the back of the mat.
Clearly,
of that boulder.
Not an easy boulder. If Jessie Pills now speaking to her, her focus is after the Olympics to work on lead comps. She doesn't.
Okay.
Not to prioritizing the bouldering because she is at heart a lead specialist.
Yeah.
So maybe there is a bit of a dip in the absolute power she has on the wall, but certainly showing us that this climb is not easy.
Oh, and then, as you see, Sam Richard, who, by all notes, should storm his way up the first boulder, having been qualified here at the top of the field, been turned away so far. So this is going to come down to probably the last attempt. He's going to burn 20 trying it. Ooh. Gotcha, not quite. Jessie getting into the side pull. Sam electing to stay in this toe and does this crazy hop. One hand, can he hold the core?
Oof.
Yes.
Well done there.
My goodness.
That was tough. You saw that right toe starting to flag out, lean away. The barn door wanted to happen. He had to put it in, re-scum it, and then drop the hips a little bit just to get that directionality on the top hold.
Just getting that last bite. Kaito, we saw just sailing out of the frame, unable to get around the corner on that last boulder as well. Just
sailing
crazy
out of the frame.
Stuff. Yeah, getting this toe. And it's just to hold the right side out there. My goodness.
Great. You saw the legs shaking.
My goodness. Just getting it done. I'll give you just a quick look at the results, sort of provisional as we go. They're live. Stasha sitting at the top with 2 tops and a zone, just ahead of Georgia Tessio, 2 tops and a zone, but a few more attempts. And Afra with 1 top and 2 zones. Katja with 1 and 1, and still 2 boulders to go. Jessie Pilz, top and a zone, with only 1 boulder to go. And Chloé Caulier with this boulder and 1 to go. So getting tight, close on the women's side.
Tough round.
Tough round for
Very
sure.
tough round. 2 tops get you through. 1 top gets you through.
Yeah, 1 top gets you through. Hannes.
Here we go.
Looking strong.
There we go. He's brought that right toe in. Getting set up the left. Looking better.
Gets the bump.
Very high.
Oh my goodness.
He stepped off the right foot. He was looking at the top and forgot about the bottom.
Yeah.
Oof, you can see when you fall off from that, that was just a coordination mistake.
Yeah.
You saw him stepping too far off from his right foot. He stood onto the dual text. He was so ready to go with the hand, but the foot hadn't found itself yet. Andre now in that corner, just having a look. This is one of those climbs where there's 100 ways you could do it. Well, 100 ways you think you could do it.
You think you can do it.
You test all the positions, you lean and hang.
Selma.
Oof, very strong going up to that.
Wow. The recovery on the second to last hold, to reel that back in and then to just sort of calmly grab the finish. Wow, she is showing to be just, I mean, I don't have the right word.
You are lost for words.
Yeah, just that, she made that so easy. Like watching climbers with the pedigree that we've seen coming before and not being able to get through those last 2 moves, and she just kind of rock climbed them. Like, no problem.
No problem.
Kaito sitting at the top right now, and I don't think there's enough. Well, it'll be interesting. There's enough climbers to make it interesting at the top of the men's field. There's still 6 climbers to go through this side, but put himself in a great position.
All right, Hannes, you gonna go for the first top today on men's number 2?
Came up back very quickly. Oh, he gets the sloper to stick. Left foot. Oh, sketchy heel hook makes it happen.
Great job there.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
You saw that left foot looking for the hole.
Oh my goodness, I can't
right
believe
at
he
the
made
end
that.
of extension. He just about put that foot on.
Oh, he made that a foot swap that I didn't think he was going to be able to unlock.
That was hard. That was visibly hard.
That's such a bad sloper. Artur Rebolo, yeah, kind of getting that enough pull to get close, but not enough pull to really be committed to that undercut, but lots of time.
There we go.
This is
Watch
great. The
this.
sloper that he slides it down.
Look how straight that left hand is, and then that left foot finding it right on the edge where the dual tech stops.
And then that heel hook can't be good.
You can see how bad all of those holds are right now.
Wow.
Wow. Hannes
Vidalson.
Very, very strong.
Woo. Good stuff. Chloé Caulier.
Ooh. Let's keep an eye on Georgia. She almost made it to the zone, and judging by how well she's done so far, definitely in contention for making that move to the top.
It takes so much time to get out of the start position.
You saw Stasia, 20 seconds left, and that was just enough time to pull onto the wall.
Yeah. Now 30 seconds to go. It's going to be a bit of a race for Chloé, but Artur, if he can dial this in.
Oh. Going with the other hand that time.
I was going to say, that's strikes of a bit of desperation.
Yeah.
Trying to go with the hand that's got a little more power left. Nice,
women's number 3, stiffest boulder ever.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
It'll have to be words.
We saw Anže Pahart's also unable to make it happen on boulder number 4. Yet to see a top. Now moving on to his next boulder, number 2.
The back end of the comp now.
Yep. Nobody on one. Katja and Jesse. And Artur and Mika going across to the left.
Jesse's in that roof in the backbreaker.
It's a good, apt description.
It is quite scary to imagine being in there. You get twisted all the wrong ways.
Leaned out like that, and your feet are just sort of, seconds away from sliding straight down.
It's intended to be facing out towards the crowd. That's what the route setters wanted, but athletes have managed to make it work in multiple ways. And even some just doing a little twirl underneath 360. Katja.
Look at this now.
Very high there. Oh. Wow. Very impressive beta coming into an undercut from below. That was not easy whatsoever, but got stood up super high.
Yeah.
So let's see if Katja will have the gusto to repeat that and grab the penultimate hold, which is pretty good. If you get that.
Comparatively pretty good.
I want to say if you get that, you're done.
Yeah. But how much did you expend to get there the first time? 3 minutes, basically forever in the semifinal round, but still a lot of work to do.
Great look at these little holes at the start. You might not be able to see in the camera, but that is a large red blob with a tiny piece of friction, a little pebble, quite emulating the grit stone climbing where just one single pebble sits out you have to stand on.
Sometimes you have to grab.
And these holes are called the terrors.
Oh, very good name.
It's a very good name, aren't they?
And I mean, it's if you're not super familiar with gridstone climbing, it is Sam Richard now. Oh, the right foot lets him down. For the longest time, there was just sort of a casual expression of like really good climbers, like, yeah, but what's he ever done? It tests a completely different part of your climbing, and not to mention how bold you are.
Really cool, those holes. Kind of modern comp style take on a very traditional hold shape. So yeah, and you can see Mikael is being tested.
Yeah.
Really struggling to establish on the start, and it only gets worse.
Yeah.
Here, Katja,
back in
matching on the zone.
Knocks
off again,
out,
unfortunately.
Yeah. Time for one more. Just going to need to sort of manage a little bit of that rest.
Quite a complex series of palms and twists to get the right beta through here. Some of the pebbles are actually just a pebble. They have no texture on them, but they have such an angle that you can really pull. But it's strange.
Yeah, they're really cool holds.
Jesse's off the ground. I'm actually quite interested to see. So Stasha made it through that first part, but couldn't figure out the beta for the last section. So clearly not a giveaway. I think the move is quite doable if you either choose to fit in the box or to go dynamically. But even very experienced climbers are getting put off there.
They kind of fight necessarily what you're supposed to do, and they're kind of getting drawn into what they want to do, which is not necessarily working. Artur, like, really violently off that boulder.
Mikael at the arete. Let's see how the release of that left foot's going to go.
See him staring around the corner, even trying to look to see where to get to.
Oh, he's found the palm. That looks good.
That does. He got the foot swap.
Oh, he still has to release that left foot. He's going straight for the top.
Oh my goodness. That's the killer instinct.
He saw the eyes.
Yeah. You know what I might do here? I might go for the top.
Oh, he did only have 15 seconds, so that made sense.
Arthur Labrie managed to get up there for one last try. Whew. Okay. Selma and Chloe on 3 and 4. Hannes, Artur Rebolo on 3 and 4. And then Sam Richard waiting in the wings.
I'm very excited to see what Selma makes of boulder number 3. If anyone is going to do it, it is the last chance.
Yeah, I mean, it's the last chance, but also the person who's looking like they might be doing it.
Well, let's keep our eyes open there. Scores, interestingly, Georgia in first place because of that extra zone.
Yeah, huge, that extra zone.
We'll see Selma now. Assume she's going to get up towards the top. Casually through to the crimp on the right.
Yeah.
Oof.
This is the little half drop knee we were talking about.
On that
kind of believing.
Left foot is on a pebble with absolutely no texture, but it's so angled that your foot can just drill it. Now that palm coming through. So this is where Mikael just thought, I'm going to the top. And it's not a simple sequence there. There's a few different ways. The intended way is to really squish the arete between you.
Oh, look at that. Hannes.
To be expected.
Yeah, at this point, to be expected.
One of the athletes that's better at that coordination style, so not surprising that he made light work of that top move.
Yeah, that's going to put him in a good spot as well.
I think so interesting with these holds that they look so big, but the way they're put on, you have to go dynamically and get the 1-2, oppose it. Doesn't work any other way.
Yeah, and a couple of people sort of looked and thought, oh, I can just stall out on the second last hold, or I can stall out on, you know, the second and third. No, angles don't lend them. Selma Mamoun Getting back towards the zone here.
Yeah, she's on the zone. Here, oh, right foot slip.
Just trying to, you have to change so much body position to come into an undercling. There's no casual way to do that move.
Intended way is to just shoot straight up with the right hand. It was Katja that tried to get that undercling first and nearly made it work, so all for it.
Chloé Caulier, sort of a couple of tries to get out to the zone. Chloé on the bubble on this fourth boulder.
Well, you see good progress here, looking for that Pam. Not deciding what to do though.
No. And still left foot way behind. Looks at the finish hold.
Oh, okay.
Turns it into a bit of a, you saw the step through come to give him that extra boost.
That was interesting.
It was.
Sure, he's going to look at doing that again, but that step through, you're putting your left foot on that hold, you're standing up left, 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 and you got to be on the right to stick it. That hold is not horizontal, that is a vertical hold, and your weight's got to be on the right.
Chloé Caulier just behind the post.
Oh, she's through.
Yeah, through to the zone. And
there we go.
It's the combination of the palm and the power ejection. Yes, bringing the crowd up. Chloé Caulier.
That'll put her in contention.
Huge top.
Hey, Selma's through.
Selma.
There we go.
1, 2.
And
Selma Mamoon, we get a top with the last possibility.
Sigh of relief from the setters.
Yes, and from Selma. Wow, that's good stuff.
Okay.
Climbing.
Let's see what he goes for here. Hopefully, if he has pretty good idea of what he wants to do, then we're going to see something
spicy.
Somewhat spectacular. Bringing that right hand up if he can.
So much time in this position.
Oopa.
You cannot understate how difficult it can be to release a body position.
Yeah.
He could have stayed there. Look at that. Perfectly executed from Chloé Caulier.
No problem. A lot of commitment. That is a very, very scary move.
Yeah. Time is going to run out on Arthur. But he doesn't know that he's in great shape. Because you think one top, there's no way I'm making the final.
Oh my God.
And look at Selma. Cuts here, as you said, it is a good hold, but has the power to cut and then just reel this in. Really good stuff.
Very cool. No bother through that last move, but really impressive getting up there. Locking that left hand in deep, deep.
Yeah.
Up and through.
As designed. Sam Richard. Just showing you that even that opening move is hard.
Katja now has done pretty well so far. Let's see, slightly taller, how's she gonna manage this crazy, crazy boulder? Look at that, just hands can go in 10 different places.
Yeah, and you just see the wheels turning almost. Samuel Richard, just a bit shy.
Oh God, she's got herself tied up. Oh no.
Goodness.
Nobody wants to be it. Oh no. Maybe it's a move. It's the new knee bar. You lock your face in with your arm behind your head. What's it called? The pretzel.
Maybe the you got to figure 4, you got to figure 9 or whatever they call the other weird one where you go over the other leg. Sometimes you do use your own self. Sometimes you see climbers like bump off their own hand or wrist, but I don't think I've yet seen a push your chin into your forearm. A good look at the
Look at the terrors. And that one up and right, you can see no texture. Fear and terror.
Yeah, and terror.
Adequately named. Gotcha. Had a quick think about facing inward and
then no.
Probably decided for the sake of her health.
That no, thank you. Richard. Oh, and now coming up a little short to the zone. You got just a little
Might be
bit
getting
of
tired.
frustration. Yeah, a little bit of tired, a little bit of frustration is going to kick in.
That Katya's got her head in a new position this time. Oh no.
Shoulders. She's got to be pushing her shoulders in at this point.
That's like a behind the head pull up. But so reaching through to that volume, I can't say that. Oh, she's sticking to it.
She is sticking to it.
Oh,
she'll hook the zone.
The zone. She's going the wrong way, but she's making it work.
Yep. Is she going to get a match on this wrap?
That is not a good heel hook. I think it's holding her on entirely. Gotcha. You're going.
Versus it. I'm transfixed.
Oh my God! I can't look away.
Still there. Oh my goodness. Oh, I think.
Wow. Deary me.
Yes, Katja, I agree. That shout of frustration at the wall. 100% agree with you.
Oh my Lord.
She was frozen.
Unfortunately, can't quite figure out the right way, but too good to fall off.
Yeah.
And that's what you end up with.
Yeah, and the ability to just stay there. Like the power and the perseverance to just say, I will solve this. And then,
not
of course, not solve it because, my goodness, it's so difficult when you're doing it the right way, let alone when you're
whatever that
out
was.
of sequence. You're right, that's not a good heel hook. So there's such an interesting balance where the technical ability to put that heel hook on and make it work is unreal, but should not have been done.
It should not be possible.
Yeah. Wow. Arthur in good company, fighting towards the corner on boulder number 4. So, as we say, a tough round. All the boulders on the women's side have been topped, which I love to see. And the men are only shy boulder number 4.
Katja's going back up to that volume.
She liked it enough. Maybe she'll go.
She can't hear us from here.
No. You know, at home or here, her coach is also.
That right arm is in such. Oh, the heel's back. No.
She went back.
She's committed. She might get through to it.
Oh! Wow. Wow.
And try again. Why not?
Yeah, why not? Last boulder, 10 seconds. I mean, the zone would be, that's what she's hunting is if I get this zone, she's already through. She doesn't know.
Great show there from
Really
Katja.
good show. I love that. That's what we want is.
I think she heard us.
I'm doing it anyway. I mean, it's fun. We can see that boulder from our window. We are miles away in every other sense. Hannes Van Dalsen and Selma Mamoun with only Sam Richard waiting in the wings. Sam is, he needs to top the last boulder, which has not been topped.
Oh,
to get in. Yeah,
naturally.
So Hannes is just absolutely sitting comfortably at the top, the only man to top 3 boulders.
Oh, wow.
Meanwhile, Selma sitting comfortably at the top, the only woman to top 3 boulders.
Okay.
They're climbing boulders that they don't know they don't need.
Well fitting.
Yeah.
Well, Selma has been unstoppable so far. Let's see if the trick was that she was facing into the wall. And actually facing out of the wall is not her thing. But right now, she does look quite okay. Brushing there.
Everything's in the way on this boulder. Everything. You're in your own way on this boulder.
And she's gone for the twirl.
Yeah.
Oh, nope. I don't know what this technique is called, but she's doing it. Oh, there's another. Oh, my dear Lord.
Gotta get turned around. I think I just heard.
How do we commentate? What do we say?
Yeah.
What do we talk about right now?
Everything is possible.
It was the fakie. She started to twirl one way, but
Came
only
the
to
other
make
way.
us think back again. Round 2. Oh, and there you go.
Oh, and holds
Fakie.
it.
This is the flash attempt.
Still, yeah.
She get in this box, go through the palm to the top statically.
Yes. My goodness, Selma Mimoun absolutely crushing boulders this evening.
Having a good day.
Having an excellent day. That is amazing stuff. Love it. Absolutely love it. Hannes.
Hannes now, he's our hope for seeing a top on men's number 4. If we do get that, then the setters really have done a spectacular job today.
Absolutely.
Oh, that was not the beta you're looking for. A nice little replay. Selma just having a good time, really. I think that top move is scary but fun. I think you're pretty happy if you get that hold.
I agree.
It's looking tight there. Really not finding.
Leaning around the corner. Where am I going?
Oh yeah, crimp the wall. Crimp the wall. That'll do. It's fair game.
Yep.
It's doing the job.
It is doing something.
It did the job. Whoever thought? Okay, in a position. Double Gaston is very hard. Okay, he's getting up high. He's within reaching distance of the top if he wants to try this step through and go.
It's so hard to tell what they're trying. I mean,
Look,
you know what they're trying to do. It's hard to see what their decision process.
I think keep an eye. If he looks at the top a bit long, he might just go. The wall crimp is there still. Oh, step through, go.
Does it? Almost!
Yeah.
Almost, and I think close enough that he'll try that again if he takes another attempt.
If that right hand sticks, he was pretty good on the left, but needs to oppose because the top is a vertical hold. But you can look at the chalk on the right where he slaps. Now, clearly not a simple beta getting through when you crimp a seam in the wall. So hopefully he can recreate that and show us something spectacular.
Now he's fighting the time. It's such a slow moving boulder.
So leaning across, here's the wall crimp, the thunder cut, as you call it.
Trying to find that balance.
Oh! 20 seconds left, definitely jumping on. Last boulder of the day, not a boulder that you can easily move fast on, but Hannes is now there moving. Oh, careful with the foot, he wants this.
Trying
He wants
really hard to get through. I mean, I love that he doesn't need it, but he wants it anyway.
Popping on the
pop on the right hand. Wonderful stuff. Only Sam Richard to go, and I am on my way down now. I'm going to go find a couple of athletes to interview. I hope you guys have had a wonderful time. Stick around here with Danaan for Sam on the last boulder, and then we'll get down to the floor as soon as he's done and get a couple of interviews in the books. And don't go far.
Don't go too far. This is one of the nice and unique things about this event is that you get to spend some time with the athletes. You get to hear about what's going on in their heads, what they're thinking. Hopefully have experienced some of the fun that they're having out there on the mats. So our last athlete of the day, he is the only one on the wall right now because we had a technical earlier. One of the athletes bled on the boulder, and so we had to delay the next athlete coming out until that was cleaned, and that has resulted in Sam now being alone on the wall. And very dominant performance in the qualifier round, which was heavy on the technical climbs, so he should be more than capable. And we're now in the corner of a very, very technical climb. Oh wow, dropping low on that right foot, really lay back in the arete, which is not at a right angle. It's very hard to do. And unfortunately, as soon as he comes up high off that right foot, the balance starts to take him away. Barn door, as we all know so well and unlovingly. Well, my co-commentator tonight, Pete Woods, is questing down onto the mats to find some athletes to interview. And shortly after, we've got 3 minutes left where Sam is hopefully going to do this. It would be amazing to see a top today. This is the only boulder that has not been top today. Look at that. Great techniques coming through, dropping down to crimp that pebble, which is definitely a foot, but he's figured out a way of using it with his hand. Crawling up, looking for the side pull, but he's nowhere near it. Now he's dropped right the way onto that right toe. There, the hand feeling around for the side pull. And that is going to be very tough to hold. He's kind of taking himself down a back alley that has a dead end, I think, there. But if he does figure it out, it'd be very exciting to see him get through. 2 minutes left now. 2 minutes left. And at this very moment, we are arranging some athletes to come for an interview, and I think we've got some exciting characters waiting down on the mats to speak to once our final climber is over. 1 minute, 40 seconds left to conquer this very technical terror, as we're now calling it, because it has kicked everyone's ass today. Jumping up into the double Gaston, very, very cool, but this arête, although it may look like a sharp arête in the camera, it is not a sharp arête. It is extremely hard to oppose there because they are not as angled away from each other as you might think. Sam now gearing up. He's only got a couple of attempts left. Last climber of the day. You can see really struggling to figure out what the best technique is through here. Going dynamically already into the double Gaston. Double Gaston's good, but your only foot holding you onto the wall is quite far to the left. And so the balance point there is really not ideal, but he's confident, he's moving quick, so I think he's gonna go again quick. Give that an even better go. There we are. Little bit of stick there, but doesn't look like it's going to be enough. Sam jumping on quickly, a little bit too quick. So hard to keep composed in this last 10 seconds of your day. But here, rushing through the corner, and another way, going for just the straight compression, but not quite enough there. And that is it. That is the last of the climbing we're going to see today. So let's have an overview of our scores. Pete is down on the mats getting the athletes together, and very, very shortly we're going to be hearing from them and hopefully hear whether or not we've had a good time. So let's take a quick look at our scores today from the female athletes. Selma in first place, topped every boulder. Very rare thing to see, very, very impressive considering how few tops there have been throughout the rest of the round. So absolutely dominating here. Georgia in second place, doing extremely well alongside Stasha Gale. Chloé Caulier then finding that final top on the last boulder to get her in, and you saw yourself the next athletes in the listing. And for the men's scores, Hannes van Duysen clearly ahead of the game there with 3 tops. And then Kaito, second place, the route setter, who's just far too strong. Arthur, Antoine, Mikael Moem, and Michael Picaruaz finishing up the top 6 for your finals tomorrow. So you can see the crowd is starting to pass out, and we have Pete Woods waiting on the mats with our interviews. I've been Danaan Markey, and see you tomorrow.
All right, hey everybody, we're down here on the mats. Everything is still happening. It's still loud. It's still busy. Stasha and Chloe, we just want to hear your sort of immediate thoughts after a round. Super, super hard boulders. Just walk me through a little bit of how the ups and downs of topping and not topping in a semifinal round.
Yeah, the first one wasn't so hard. It was just about feet placement and balancing. So if you got that one right, you kind of had a good kickoff. The second one, a little bit more dynamic, maybe slightly more fits me better. Got pumped in my thumbs, I must say. Third one, I knew it was going to be really hard. Bad friction, really, really physical, not happening for me, but I knew that I wanted to focus on the last one and to crush that one as well. And I had, I think for myself, an amazing beta, which I really loved, and I was so proud of myself I did it first try. I thought I was going to lose a shoulder, but that didn't happen. It was like, this is stable, this holds, okay. I'm going to see how it feels tomorrow. But I'm really pissed I didn't do the top. I felt a bit too close and somehow lost friction on the palm. Couldn't find the right position. Every time I positioned, I kind of lost the arm, and it didn't really work, and really bitter to finish off like that, but luckily, yeah, it was enough, so, or whatever.
Yeah, and that the bottom of the line is it was enough. And if you go back and watch the live stream, we commented on that hand was like, it was good and then not good and then good and then not good. And if you would have got the friction on that palm to stick, the top was well within your reach. I mean, a very difficult round, really hard, well executed along the way. Chloe, again, it's such a difficult round, but did you have a favorite boulder out of what you got to climb this evening?
I think my favorite was the third, and I was very disappointed and angry that I couldn't top it because it's really my style. But yeah, my left hand was a bit cold, and so when I arrived on the crimp, I couldn't put my maximum on it, so I was a bit, yeah, I was frustrated after that, and I'm happy that I could use this frustration to top the last one.
That's fine. Yeah, harness the frustration and turn it around and go, and that's what that chair is for in those 5 minutes. What do you do between tonight and tomorrow to get mentally ready, to get recovered? What does that look like in this time frame to come back for finals? How soon do you go to sleep? How long do you sleep for?
Yeah, I think as the finals are nights, we can sleep long tomorrow morning, so yeah, first sleep, and then I think I will also enjoy UTRECHT because yeah, we are here for that as well, so yeah, with the other World Cup climbers we will enjoy a bit during the day, then maybe napping again. You know, recovery is about a lot of sleep, so yeah, and then just I'm psyched to be in finals, so I think I don't need to be super prepared for it before the ISO.
Awesome. Fantastic. Don't go anywhere. Thank you. Stasha, I'm going to say it. 2-time champion, back in finals for the 3rd year in a row. What are you going to do to put yourself back on that podium?
Well, yeah, I'll sleep a lot. I will stretch and keep my body more or less fresh for tomorrow. Let's see how much I can handle. But yeah, I'm just going to try to find the best flow possible. Fast solving of boulders and not losing power, that's the strategy, and let's just see if setting is on my side or not, and that plays a big role. No, I'm not bothered. You're putting pressure on me. I'm not gonna take it. Whatever happens tomorrow will be great. I'm in finals with very good people, and that means a lot to me, so I'm happy.
And that's the perfect attitude. You climbed super well today. You know the boulders were hard. I can't wait to see you climb tomorrow. Also climbed super well today. Excited to see you climb tomorrow. Thanks. All right. And next, Arturo Bolo, how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling so great. It was such a nice round. I had a blast. Like, all the boulders were super great. And yeah, it was great, like, figure out the betas like the route setters intended. And yeah, it was great.
So even when we chatted up in ISO before, right? You're like, you haven't done a lot of big international competitions, and then you get into this field, and you said you have to be confident. You have to believe that you're capable. Walk me through a little bit of sort of like a 5-minute off, 5-minute on round. You have time to think between the boulders. And were you in a good headspace the whole way through? Were you excited? Do you have to like control it? How do you stay calm or get excited?
I was in a really good like headspace, but sometimes it was really hard because first I flashed the first boulders and that was nice. Like it put me in a great mood, but after the boulder was so hard, like I barely got a zone on number 2. Like, and every boulder was like straight on harder than the previous one. So yeah, it was like hard to keep going, but in the end, like it made out, and I'm really glad.
Was there any moment when you're coming up to the last boulder where you think, I haven't done enough to get into finals, like I'm just trying to now climb for pride? Did you have an inkling from hearing the crowd of whether the boulders were getting done?
I think I knew I was like around top 10, but it was super hard like to know if I was in the final spot or not. So I just decided let's not think about it and just enjoy the boulders, like climb as hard as I can and give it everything.
Yeah, I love that attitude. It can be difficult in competition to enjoy the climbing, and some of the movement was wonderful. Yes, super. Boulder number 2, so difficult, right? Like, but the movement, when you saw on it, the move, it was very cool. Boulder number 3, also so difficult.
Yeah, like the second boulder, I spent quite a time actually figuring out the right beta. Like I tried jumping around, like, and I ended up sticking and holding it statically, and that was great. But still, like the end, it was like 5 minutes of just figure out what to do and where to put my feet and everything. So yeah, no, it was great.
So with that setting that you saw today, I'm assuming you're just excited to come and climb boulders tomorrow. You got into the show, you did your job, now you get to show up tomorrow and do your job again.
Yeah, for sure. Like I've always had big ambitions. Like I came here to win, but no, let's see, you know, like I think it's not a great headspace to tell like I hope I get second. Like always I hope I win, but I'm so glad to make to the finals, and yeah, I'm kind of already done with my objectives, but still keep pushing.
That is such a good way, and it's not new news to have somebody come into a competition, everybody comes in and say, I'm here to win. That's the job you came to do. You did your job, you got into finals. Really good climbing. Congratulations, we'll see you climb tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Really good job. All right, thanks for hanging out, everybody. That's going to do it for our live stream. I hope you had as much fun as we did bringing it to you. Dock Masters 2025 semifinals check in the books. Come back tomorrow. Dock Masters finals, you know it's going to be good. We'll see you here.
I'm not even close to the finish, just scratching the surface, turning my L's into
Scratching the surface, turning my L's into winnings. I've been the one since the beginning. No days off, I go so hard in the pain. Put in that work and it's paying off quick. I left no crumbs, you know I ate. I'm pushing the limit like get out the way. I am the one, we not one in the same. Feeling brand new when you're not in my lane. Count me back 'cause I'm breaking the chain. I woke up the
Mooi vind ik dat je de weg niet meer hoort, dat er geen andere mensen zijn, dat je helemaal in het bos bent. En daar ligt dan opeens een supermooi blok. En er zit niks extra, er zit niks in de weg, er zit geen scherp greepje in. Ja, soms denk je wel eens van ja, dit kan toch bijna niet anders dan dat dit gemaakt is om te klimmen. Dit is echt perfect. Hè, alsof een hele goede routebouwer voor ons cadeautjes heeft neergelegd om te ontdekken. In die afgelegen gebieden vind ik het heerlijk om in mijn eentje te klimmen, alles zelf uit te zoeken, de geluiden van het bos om me heen. Een werkdag is echt, dan loop ik met mijn mapje door het bos en dan heb ik dingen uit te zoeken. Bijvoorbeeld nieuwe boulders die geopend zijn, intekenen. Er zijn vaak geen filmpjes van die boulders nog. Helemaal geen informatie. Nou, dat vind ik een hele mooie manier van klimmen.
I think that's great for everyone, but most importantly, the youngsters. On-Dracomp is a very specific shoe, but especially if you're a lightweight climber, I think it's actually a very universal, all-rounded shoe. If I could turn back the time and I was 12 years old again, I would use it for almost everything.